Shalom. May peace and thanksgiving offerings be multiplied amongst all the saints. I'm Kahan Yarden, bringing forth today's live class for this Shabbat regarding this series, The Last Days. As we get closer and closer to the Feast of Weeks, we want to bring this series to a close, but we're coming up at that time. But we want to talk about some of the things that the Messiah talked about, what happened in the last days. Last week, Kahan Gabaria talked about Babylon and how the spirit of Babylon is present in this society that we currently are living in. How everything that our forefathers went through when they went through the Babylonian captivity, that we're seeing the exact same things here. Their pride, the arrogance, the riches, the desire to come and fight against Abba Yahweh. They talked about the Tower of Babel. That's very similar to NASA. All these countries. I heard India has a new space program. Why India? I mean, people still living in mud huts and you trying to go to the moon. Why? Because you think that you can box with God, so to speak.
Yeah.
You think you can fight Abba Yahweh. And this is what people are doing when their end is nigh. They're saying, how can we allow our society to continue to push forward? Well, they have their magi's who say, just like the Babylonians had their magi's, and they say, look, your kingdom is coming to an end. You got to do something. And Hasatan gets in these people's minds to make them think that they can actually do something against the will of Abba Yahweh. And so they say, let's go up, let's build a tower, let's go up into the heavens and see if we can go kill some angels. Let's see if we can go war with Abba Yahweh. And you cannot. You will lose. And so these are some of the things that we start to see in the last days. One thing you covered also, Khan Gabario, is the as it is in the days of Noah, so shall it be today.
Khan.
We see a lot of things in the times of Noah. Now, we don't see a lot of it in the KJV, and this is why it's important to study and look at other books. Because one thing you see in the book of Adam and Eve, you see they had drink houses. They was clubbing. And the women were all dressed in tight clothing that revealed their figure. And everything was about accentuating their figure. And they were tattooed, and they had things on their eyelids and their nails. Everything was about sensuality. And they had this music that ravages the heart. And they caused the children of Seth, the righteous children, walk down the mountain. And so these are some of the things they were doing during the days of Noah.
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing new. Are they not doing the exact same thing today? They're doing the exact same thing. They're doing everything point blank like they were doing back in times past. So we should be able to look at our past, look at the history, and see what is going on today. So before we get into today's class called The Last Days, Sin Shall Abound, we want to talk about some of the announcements here. As I mentioned just a moment ago, the Feast of Weeks is coming around the corner. Now, I know some people have already kept their Pentecost, so to speak. We're not even keeping Pentecost yet. We're just starting our Feast of Weeks. We're getting ready to start our Feast of Weeks, not next week, but the week after, Abba willing. And so we know some people have been waiting patiently on feast registration. Abba willing, that's going to come out hopefully this week coming out. So get ready. Hopefully you've been making preparation to travel, come here to Atlanta. For anybody who's new to the House of Wisdom, the feasts are a perfect time to be consecrated. So we invite everybody to come down here for the feast when they can. Also, one thing that we do during the feast, a commandment of Abba Yahweh, is to bring our tithes and our sacrifices. You want to talk about the tithes real quick, Kahan Gabaria?
Yes, the tithes. Love to talk about the tithes. The tithes are not money. We should already know that. And here at the House of Wisdom, coming out of here, we've been talking about tithes not being money for a long time. And everybody else is following suit that are speaking that tithes are not money, that is agriculture. Taking my glasses off, but who knows what to do with the tithes? Not too many of you know what to do with those agricultural tithes, the flour, the oil, the wine. But we at the House of Wisdom, we do. We offer it up unto the Most High in our seventh covenant, the sacrifices, the Davidical covenant. So we have the wine that we procure with our own hands. We have flour that we put together with our own hands. We have the oil, the incense. We have the Himalayan salt, the pink Himalayan salt. We have the black lava salt that we have. We say that if you want to eat what the priests are eating, get your tithes and bring them in your home. If you want to offer your tithes to the priesthood, you just buy the tithes and offer it to the priesthood, and those tithes that you give will account for what you have done. Abba sees what's going on. He sees what you're doing, and the priest will be offering up what you have given to the priesthood. Not a bad thing. Forgetting anything else?
No, absolutely. That's it. Tithes are not money. Tithes are the 10th of your agriculture increase. Unfortunately, we're not agrarian people anymore like we used to be. And so we have, the Spirit of Wisdom has allowed us to go and curate these tithes, to create them ourselves, to make the flour, make the wine that's used directly in a sacrifice. Not even just a sacrifice, several sacrifices to Abba Yahweh. The purpose of these tithes is to ensure that sacrifices go on without ceasing. That is the whole duty of man. That is the whole duty of Israel. We are to be a kingdom of priests. What do priests do? They give sacrifices. So if you're not offering up sacrifices, you're not giving tithes. If you're not giving tithes, you're not keeping the commandment of Abba Yahweh. Now, there is something that you can give monetarily. That is a free will offering. A free will offering is something that you freely give. There was no biblical mandate of a 10th part of your check, of your income. That wasn't what was outlined in scriptures. It was a 10th part of your agriculture for sacrifice. But you freely give income, gold, silver, money, goods, anything, so that the priest can continue to go on without any sort of worry, any sort of consternation about what's going on in their lives. They can ensure that the temple had everything it needed to ensure that there were oblation sacrifices going on. And so, you know, we have expenses here. We have this building. We have the electricity. We have internet. We have these mics, these mic stands, all these things that we get so that we can improve the message that's going out to all the people. And so it takes people freely giving according to how the Most High has rewarded them. And it's not about a set amount. As we always mention, the Messiah talked about the woman who gave 2 pence, and she gave more than all the rich people who came because she gave everything she had. So it's not about a dollar amount. It's about giving to the service of Abba Yahweh. And so whatever is feasible, whatever the Most High has given you, return back to him so that Abba Yahweh can bless the priest and in turn bless you. Along with that, we talk about it all the time, the calendrical study guides. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, we are completely out of stock of the 5th edition. If anybody remembers that, that was a thick piece of work that had a thorough explanation of the inner workings of the calendar.
Amazing work.
Absolutely. The calendar is a complex thing. Anybody coming up making calendars, I mean, people be making the most simplistic calendars, and it's infuriating to somebody who understands the calendar.
Yeah.
It is complex. It is complicated. That's like someone saying, yeah, I built my own engine from scratch in my backyard. Oh, really? Somebody who's a mechanic is like, oh, really?
Yeah.
You built your own engine. Yeah, you're just in the back in a stone car. That's how these people are operating when they build their calendar. I've seen some of these Hebrew calendars. They still got things like October in it. October, that's when the Feast of Tabernacles is. What was October to David, to Solomon, who did one of the greatest tabernacles ever? What was an October to him? He never even heard that word. And so we exclude those dates. We exclude the Gregorian system of counting, except for when it's necessary. We're in this Gregorian system, we need to be able to compare, but that's not the main focus. We talk about the 7th month of Helez, which is the biblical date, the captain who was over the 7th month that David instituted. And so these are some of the things that are talked about in the calendar. Now we still have last year's calendar, so we still have some available. You can use this also to track your dates this year. And we're working on getting out a new edition. We've been slow on getting out a printed copy of this year's calendar because we want to get a digital version together. And we also want to do video courses as well. So make sure you get a calendar. Make sure you get a biblical calendar, a true biblical calendar built by people who are filled with the Holy Spirit of wisdom, who the Most High has blessed to understand the deep mysteries of Enoch.
Yeah, that's
And like we talked about as well, we don't want to just have physical calendars. We want to have digital calendars as well. One of them being an app you can actually get on your phone. But while that's in the works, we want to also do a calendar course. But you can only get that course if you're on the City of Adam. You will not be able to access that course if you just tune into us on YouTube. YouTube is cool, but that's not where we want to stake our whole position.
The City of Adam is cooler.
Yeah, exactly. City of Adam where the cool folks at, the cool kids are at. Go to the City of Adam. That is our own platform, our own social media platform that we're improving day by day. Every week, every day, we're improving on the City of Adam website. And so we have a lot of things that we want to do with that site. Get on there to join our own private community, away from the overlords of YouTube and some of the social media. We see with the political climate, they change and shift. When more liberal people are in power, they're more liberal. When conservative people are in power, they're more conservative and they're more welcoming. I don't want to go through, we're good for 5 years and then or 4 years and then another shift comes. Now we can't do that. We need our own platform. APPAREL is the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So we need our own platform. We have our own platform. So join us on the City of Adam, and that's where you're going to get courses like the calendar. And that's where we're going to have classes about prophecy. That's where we're going to have classes about the law, statutes, and commandments. Because a lot of us need to know the details on the laws, the statutes, and the commandments. That's where you can join, potentially, the AP class. So if you're interested in becoming a priest and being trained in the ways of the priest, there is no other way to do it except coming under the tutelage of the priesthood. But we're not pulling from the public. Everybody who, Abba willing, is going to be part of the next AP class, they're going to be pulled from the general congregation of the House of Wisdom. So you need to be on the City of Adam if you're looking to be a part of the priesthood. If you want to learn how to give the Most High his oblations and sacrifices in due season, how to fight and combat these evil forces called sin, and how to prepare yourself for these last days, the City of Adam is where it's at. And while you're on the City of Adam, make sure you go to the literature side of the storefront and get this book while supplies last. This is Messianic Faith, written by Malakahan Banyala 20 years ago. Just like 20 years ago today. This year is our anniversary. 20-year anniversary of the House of Wisdom as we know it. And so get this piece, this historical piece right here that was published 20 years ago of Messianic Faith, which gives you the true understanding of what faith is. It's not blind belief. And it's crazy how much we, as Israelites who tend to have a disdain for Christians, take some of the things they say for granted as if it's true. There's so many Israelites say, you just need to have faith, brother.
Yeah, for sure.
Israelites. They can be hardcore, ISUBK, all blacked out Israelites. And they still talking about, I got faith that this is going to work. You don't know what faith is.
Yeah.
Faith, as our fellow Israelite of the tribe of Benjamin, Paul, not a Caribbean, not a Caribbean brother, but Paul spoke about faith in Hebrews 11:1 and said, now faith is a substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith is a tangible thing. Everybody in the world teaches you that faith is something immaterial, when in actuality it's the opposite. Faith is something that you can touch, taste, hear, smell, see. This is what faith is. And it gives you evidence of Abba Yahweh, who you cannot see. This is what true faith is. And without that faith, it is impossible. Not unlikely, but impossible to please Abba Yahweh. So you need to really know what true faith is. Get your book on faith on the City of Adam, the literature department of the storefront. And also, make sure you're liking, you share, you subscribe to the House of Wisdom YouTube channel. Now, anybody who knows YouTube is it is about monetization. It is about making as much money as possible. And so they promote channels that run ads. Now, guess what we don't do here at the House of Wisdom? We don't run ads. So YouTube has less of an incentive to promote our channel.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? It means the heft of the burden is on you. And we don't run ads, not for us. It doesn't slow us down, those who come here. It's for you, those watching. I'd hate to be breaking down something deep on faith and all of a sudden, Tide. Make sure you wash your clothes with Tide. Let's get back to faith. I'd hate that. I would absolutely hate that.
Yeah.
And I'd hate it for y'all. So make sure you're doing your part. Make sure you're liking this video because it tells the algorithm that this is a video that's worth putting out. Make sure you're sharing this video with your friends, your family, your pastor, people you met back in church or whoever it may be. Make sure you're sharing this with them. And make sure you're subscribing to the House of Wisdom YouTube channel and turn on your notifications so that you know when we go live. Everybody sees sometimes on the Shabbat we go live at different times. Make sure your notifications are on so that you get the notification when we're actually going live and when we make posts and some updates. And make sure you subscribe to or follow our social media accounts too. It's Covenant of David on Instagram and House of Wisdom on Facebook. Abba willing, we're going to do better with Abba willing corresponding with some of the brothers and sisters, especially on social media. So please make sure you follow our social media accounts as well. And yep, absolutely. And that's the other thing we need everybody to like, share, and subscribe to, the Ninth Hour Podcast. We've been taking our time figuring out some of the things we want to cover on the Ninth Hour. But as many of you have already seen, we've been covering some deep stuff, but we want to, we're going to get ready and shift some gears, Abba willing. So
watch out.
Yeah, make sure you watch out. Abba willing, we're going to be talking about some great things on the Ninth Hour Podcast channel. That's our sister channel where we talk about a lot of things here. You've seen, if anybody's been at the House of Wisdom for some time, you see we talk about current events and news and all these things that are going on presently on our Shabbat class. And that's just not the place for it. This is the place for studious education according to the Bible and of the knowledge of Abba Yahweh. But the Ninth Hour Podcast, that's where we want to, we still going to bring out a few scriptures, Abba willing, but that's where we want to talk. That's when we want to bring up some names even sometimes, Shabbat class is not the place for that. But Ninth Hour, that's where we're going to talk, discuss several different things that are going on within our community and within the world. So make sure you're subscribing to the Ninth Hour Podcast channel. The link should be in the description of the video and it should be on the screen. Make sure you're subscribing to that. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on that channel. So we appreciate everybody going over there. Lastly, before we get back into this class, we have a new feature here available on our live stream here on YouTube on the House of Wisdom. It's the Super Chat. Super Chat, you can donate to the ministry directly here on YouTube to assist and help. All that goes directly into aiding. It's like a free will offering. Now, anybody who goes on the City of Adam, we prefer that you continue to go in the City of Adam and give your free will offerings there. But anybody who's not directly connected and feels safer being on YouTube, that's fine. Feel free to hit up the Super Chat and support in that way. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this class. If Kahan Gabarya, you would get Matthew chapter 24. We're going to start in the first verse. And if AP Hakam, if you would grab Leviticus 5:1. Now, as we mentioned, we're in this series called The Last Days. The last days are upon us. And anybody with an eye to see and ears to hear can see it. They can hear it. They can taste it. They can have that faith that we are in the last days. Not hope, believing in it, but proof and evidence that times are coming to an end. As we talked about in Babylon, the Spirit of the Most High wrote on the wall, many, many tekal upfarsin. Your time is up. It's over. And so the Alahayim are doing the same thing here, showing the people, the faithful of Abba Yahweh, that the time is running short, that the times are coming to an end. And those who are wise, who are filled with the Holy Spirit, can see it. They know that the time is short. Society cannot go on as it is today. Even if we look at it purely from a carnal standpoint, this society cannot go on. How long can you have rampant, unchecked inflation?
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time until somebody calls that debt. That's like saying, I'm going to live on my credit card as long as possible. How long can a household sustain that?
1 month, probably.
Yeah. Once they see your credit card usage has gone, they put a ding on your credit score. And then they're doing another thing, too. You thought you had a $10,000 limit? Well, when they see you for 3 months at $5,000, $6,000, they cut your credit limit. No longer do you have a $10,000 credit limit. Now you at $6,000. So you was at $5,500. You got $500 for that month. And so you can't do that. You must go and make a change. Something must give. But that's how society is working. That's how this worldly society is working. That's how America functions. Off debt. On borrowing. Not on making enough to pay that back, but on constantly and constantly borrowing. How long can that society last? And that's not even just looking at it spiritually. That's only physically.
Yeah.
Let alone some of the spiritual things that are going on. We covered it throughout this entire series. There's so many things. Wickedness is coming to a full. And as it starts to come to a full, the Most High will then bring forth the end of society as we know it. And so the Messiah told his disciples as well. He talked to them because they asked, how and when is this world going to end? And the Messiah said, here are some of the signs. Let's get that in Matthew 24. Let's pick up in the first verse.
And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple. And his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples...
All right, so the Messiah is saying to them, this temple that you see, this physical one, is going to be overthrown and destroyed. And then the end shall come. And we know from the other scriptures where the Messiah was speaking, he's not talking about just destroying it and nothing else is going to be in this place. He's saying, I'm going to give you a new temple, a better temple, a heavenly, divine one. This physical stuff, you began to love physical things too much. So now let's destroy this physical one where now you're forced to come back to the original, the one in heaven. Let's read on.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, Matthew 24:3, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world?
So they asked, men who were seeking wisdom, give us the signs of when the world is coming to an end. Give us the signs of the last days and the sign that your coming is nigh. And so, what did the Messiah say?
And Yahushua answered unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Christ, and shall deceive many.
So this is not the topic for today, but we may go over that next week. That there's going to be many who are false teachers who say, I am Christ, I am the Messiah, come follow me. And they shall lead many to destruction, to utter death. But let's say that for next week, Abba willing. Let's jump down to the 12th verse.
And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
So here are some of the things that you're going to see in the last days. Because iniquity shall abound. Iniquity shall abound. Let's go to Leviticus 5:1, AP Hakam. And let's look at briefly what this iniquity is. What is iniquity? Before we do that, anybody in the audience want to take a stab at it? We got a mic for anybody? Let's go get a mic out.
And while we're waiting, can I
Absolutely.
make a comment on this?
Come.
So we have here, right, because a lot of people see this in the 3rd verse about the end of the world. When you look at that word there, go into the Greek and see what that word is. That world is not talking about the world in general. like the world is ending, is talking about an age, a period when there's a particular rulership, and that rulership is going to be ultimately over with or come to an end. So life as, well, I won't say life as we know it, but life will still continue, but with new leaders and rulership. So the world is not coming to an end in this darkness and black and everybody's dead. That's not what's happening.
You know, it's kind of crazy that, you know, people can't look beyond where we are. You know, as they say in the world, you can't see the forest from the trees. You're so close to this one tree, like everything's brown. Well, if you step back from that trunk and look around, you'll see a whole different environment. You'll see everything else that's going on in this biome of the forest. And so many people are caught up in today's society. But if we look at history, you see rise and fall of so many different kingdoms, so many different empires. And empires govern essentially the entire earth, the entire world, or the important parts of the world. God. And so, like Kahan Gabari was talking about, there's been ends already. So many empires have ended. So many reigns have ended. And so society changed. This has happened time and time again. So we shouldn't be fearing the end. We should be embracing it because it means a new kingdom. And in this case, a righteous kingdom to come. God. Go ahead. We had
and that word is eon, by the way. So
there
look it up. End of a time period.
Khan. All right. Now, let's read that 12th verse again in Matthew while you're at it.
And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax
So because
cold.
iniquity shall abound. Anybody want to tell us what is iniquity? What exactly is iniquity?
Hello.
Khan, go ahead. Shalom.
Iniquity is sin.
Okay, there you go. Studious brother. Let's prove that. Let's show that in Leviticus 5:1.
And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness, whether he have seen or known of it.
All right, so now if a man hears or witnesses or sees somebody saying he's about to do some sort of wickedness. Even the world has stuff like this. If you are an accomplice to a crime, you guilty too.
Yeah.
Or if you hear somebody saying, hey, I'm about to rob this bank or I'm about to murder this person, you can't just sit back and say, he's not really going to do it. Especially when you see he got the gun, he's cocking, he's loading it. I'm about to murder this person tomorrow at 5:32 p.m. And you just sit back, he's not really going to do it. Really? So if a man witnesses that and sees this sin bubbling over, then what?
If he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
We see iniquity and sin being used interchangeably, simultaneously. If a man hears a witness or the voice of swearing or some sort of wickedness being perpetrated and he keeps his mouth shut, you might as well have done the crime.
God.
That same spirit is going to enter into you. Don't think you can witness a murder, not say anything, and then not turn around and be infected by that murder, that murderous spirit of sin. And so we're going to cover sin a little bit more, but we have classes where we're able to dedicate the whole live stream to that. So make sure you go and watch those classes on sin specifically. But we see that iniquity and sin are used interchangeably throughout the scriptures. They are used synonymously. Sin and iniquity are utterly related. And this sin is not just, there's a doctrine going around too. A sin is just missing the mark. What does that mean?
Yeah, no.
Well, I'm throwing darts and I missed the bullseye. I'm sinning? That's not what it is. Sin is a spirit that enters into man because he has transgressed the commandments of Abba Yahweh. So if a man sees something that's evil and wicked and allows it to proliferate in Israel, you have transgressed. We all have a duty to stop and check wickedness at every moment, every time we see it. And so you see a man creep into another man's house while he's on a vacation, he's on a business trip, and you just stays. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You will bear that sin. The priests are not going to come and remove it from you. That same spirit is going to be on you. So now let's read Matthew 24:12 with some more comprehension.
And because iniquity shall abound.
So because sin will abound, because these evil demonic spirits shall abound or proliferate or be widespread throughout the entire earth, what shall happen?
The love of many shall wax cold.
The love of many shall wax cold. And so we see that these are signs of the last days. We've covered several already in this series, but let's highlight this one in the 12th verse. Because sin shall spread and spread and spread, the love of many shall wax cold. Now, what is love? We're not going to do a full, in-depth, detailed breakdown. That's coming. It's needed. It's much needed because there's so many people talking about love. Come here, Gabari, let me give you a hug. I just love you so much.
Thank you,
come here, comment. Just give me a hug.
There's plenty of love here.
Yeah. That ain't got nothing to do with it. Absolutely. The brother already knows. Well studious. Let's get John, APAREL, John chapter 14, and we're going to pick up in the 19th verse.
Yet a little while, and the world seeth me no more. But ye see me, because I live. Ye shall live also.
So the Messiah is talking about his crucifixion. He's going to leave this earth. After a little time, the disciples will no more see him in the flesh. Let's read on.
At that day ye shall know that I am in my Father, and ye in me, and I in you.
So he's saying he's going to give us this new covenant that is going to unite the saints of Abba Yahweh on a way that is almost unfathomable. You look at the relationship to a man and a wife, and they're unified, and that's beautiful. But this even transcends that. Now, I might as well take this time to mention that because you see people perverting this stuff. We've had a commenter on our YouTube channel, on this YouTube channel, live streaming, calling himself Elijah, saying Elijah is back. I'm calling this dude out by name because he is an utter abomination. If you're watching the live stream, you've probably seen him spitting some weird doctrine. I mean, some crazy doctrine. I don't even know if I want to repeat it on here. I don't even know. But he's talking about something a little more physical in this verse than what it really intends. This is madness. This is insanity. This is debauchery. Matter of fact, this is a sign of what the Messiah is talking about. The end days are here. Brother, you really think that? You really think what you're saying is accurate? Some brothers say he's just a troll, but I'm not going to look at it like he's a troll. Yeah. I'm going to look at that like he's a sinful, wicked bastard. No connection to Abba Yahweh, spitting some madness.
And you're not Elijah.
Not at all.
Knock it off.
Not at all. Not even close. Not even in the ballpark of Elijah. This is talking about a unity that goes beyond some sort of physical intimacy. Way beyond that. This is a unity that physical men cannot even comprehend. This is what the Messiah is going to bring unto us. That oneness with the Father, the Son, all the Elohim, and the entire congregation. Where we're going to be like one body moving together. Like different cells in your body. Nobody goes and starts putting a magnifying glass and says, this is my individual skin cell right here. We look at that one thing like one body. We're all one.
Yeah.
Are your cells doing some freak offs on your skin? No, they're not. But there is this unison between every cell in your body. And this is what we are going to experience with the Messiah, with Abba Yahweh. This oneness where we all move like one body. My mind tells my hand to move like this, and it's doing it. Without resistance, imagine your hand was fighting you. I don't want to move that way. That's crazy. You're going to be put in a psych ward. You don't tell me what to do when you don't move.
That's mental illness.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, let's get back to the point. So the Messiah is telling us that he is going to leave, consecrate this new covenant, leave this earth, and bring us a oneness that carnal men can't even fathom. Let's read on.
St. John 14:21. He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me.
So this is a key point. And then this is not new. There's a lot of people who've broken this down. But it's clear as day in the scriptures. But there's so many people who pervert it and don't teach it correctly. They still think love is the emotion. But he said that if you keep the commandments, those are those who love Abba Yahweh. Those who love the Messiah, the Prince. You can't just say you have this affection for the Messiah. What is that going to do? Paul even talked about that. There's those who have a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. So you can't just have affection for Abba Yahweh, for the Messiah, the Prince. You must keep his commandments. That is true love.
Okay.
Let's read on.
And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father.
And so this is how you love the Father, by keeping the commandments. If you do everything the Messiah told you to do, which is firstly bringing forth your bread and your wine and giving daily oblations, daily sacrifices, then loving the Most High and then loving your brother, the Most High, he shall love you. Let's read on.
And I will love him and will manifest myself to him. Keep going.
Yep.
All right, verse 22. Judas saith unto him, not Iscariot, Lord, how is it that thou wilt manifest thyself unto us, and not unto the world? Yahushua answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him, and make our abode with him.
All right. Once again, not some weird stuff. Not some crazy debaucherous stuff. But you shall enter into this holy tabernacle in heaven, where you will commune and meet with the Messiah, with the Elohim, with the whole body of the angels. Spiritually. And that's how he shall be made manifest to those of his children and not the world. Many people are looking purely for a physical manifestation. But that's not how it's going to come at first. That's not how it's going to work. He's going to come in spirit and teach and talk. Kind of similar to Lot. Two angels came, but the people didn't even know they were angels. They just thought they were men. And so Lot knew and could perceive that these were angels. And so the Most High is going to send forth the Son even before the end times to manifest himself unto the chosen people.
You ain't ready
saints.
for that.
Yeah, not at all. And in that, we must do something. We must now do something in return. Read on.
Verse 24. He that loveth me, not keepeth my sayings. Wait, he that loveth me and not keepeth not my sayings.
So he that loveth me not, keepeth not my sayings. So the Messiah has told us to do certain things. And so we've talked to several people. I talked to one person and said, Matthew 6, what they call the Lord's Prayer. This is not just a prayer you say every night. This is talking about your daily bread. Let's connect that to Numbers 28. This is the daily bread for your sacrifice. No. That's just telling you to get in a daily ritual prayer. What? I'm proving it with scriptures. No. That's not sacrifice. That's just prayer. You just pray every day. That's all the Messiah wants. And they said they take communion. Oh, we do it every week. And they were like, I don't like those other churches because they only do communion every month. What? So who are you to arbitrate and tell me when I'm supposed to do that? How often? Once a month is too little. Once a day is too much. I got to do it once a week. Who are you? You the Messiah?
Nope.
The Messiah said, take your bread daily. This is not about just sitting down at your bed and saying, Abba, thank you. It's not what it's about. It's about giving up daily sacrifices like our forefathers were doing. And if you're not doing that, you do not love the Messiah. This is that femininity kind of steeping into the Christian church. We actually want to do a podcast on that on the 9th hour sometime soon. We don't know when, but we have a whole list of about 20 or 30 things that we want to cover on the 9th hour. And so we kind of go through every week kind of deciding which one we want to cover. But that's something that's been on the list since we started the 9th hour. How feminized the Christian church has become. When a man wants a woman to express love to him, it's do what I've said.
Yep.
I set rules and order in my house. You do that. Yeah, the affection is cool, but don't give me affection and then not do what I've said.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't do that. But women, it's the opposite. Don't matter what you don't matter what they say. As long as you show them affection, you give them hugs and kisses and all, they're good.
Yep.
I mean, I've seen so many women, dude be cheating, dude be all about doing whatever, dude be talking
Dirty.
trash and all that kind of stuff. But he comes back and it's okay, baby. We're going to get it together. We're going to get, and she fall for that. And she fall for that. Because that's how they love, so to speak. But men, or even, let's take this example to the heavenly realm, Abba Yahweh does not love that way. He doesn't want you to come and say, oh, God, I just love you so much. Sweet Jesus, I love you so much. I'll do anything for you. And then you go out and then you eat pork. And then you go out and don't keep the Shabbat. You go out and do Easter. You go out and don't give him his daily sacrifices.
Yeah.
That's not the love that Abba Yahweh wants. That's what the feminization of the Christian church has done. They have made us think that love is purely emotion. When it's not about your emotions, it's about your actions. It's actually about trumping your emotions and doing something. That's true love. I love the Most High so much, I'll wake up at 2 a.m. every day and get my bread and my wine prepared and get on this oblation line. I could be asleep. I could be getting ready for work. But I love the Most High so much that I would do this. Mm-hmm. That's true love. It's not about, do you feel like waking up at 2 a.m. every day?
Technically, no. But to do the O's, I'm ready.
There you go. There you go. It's not about your feelings. It's not about your emotions. The emotions tell you don't do that.
Yeah. Well, you tired.
Yeah, exactly. Man, you know, if you was getting that extra hour every day, think of how ahead you would be. But then think about how far behind you'd be by not giving the Most High his oblations.
Believe it.
Yeah. There you go. That's true love. True love is this person upset me, and I feel like cussing him out. But the Most High said, give a soft answer, turn away wrath. Let me kill this argument by giving a soft answer, which I don't want to do. My emotions are telling me something completely different. But I'm going to trump my emotions because I love the Most High and I want to receive his blessing. That is true love. Keeping the commandments of Abba Yahweh. So you can't say you love the Most High, you love the Messiah, and not do what he said to do. Let's read that verse again. Then we're going to go Sirach 2:15. Kahan Gabaria.
John 14:24. He that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings, and the word which he hears not mine, but the Father's which sent me.
It ain't the Messiah himself saying this is what love is. It is Abba Yahweh telling him what love is, and he comes and brings that back to us. This is what true love is, not how you feel. You can, that's why even in the scriptures, there's a statute that talks about if a man has, one wife that he loves and one that he hates. He said he hates her. But herein is how he loves her. He can't say, I had my firstborn with this woman that I hate. He's not going to receive my inheritance. It's going to a wife that I love. That is true love, even though he don't like this woman. Now, I'm not saying that's ideal. I'm not saying that's an ideal situation to be in. But reality is that not all marriages are just, peaches and cream. Some of them are rough. Some of them are rough. And so what do you want that man to do? You want that man to just dismiss you and be like, I don't care, that's not my son? No, you don't want him to do that. You want him to still do the things that he's supposed to do. That is true love, even if he don't like the woman. Same thing in women. Some women don't like their husbands. What does that mean? I'm going to be dismissive, I'm going to be mean, I'm going to be upset, I'm going to have an attitude every time? No. The law of kindness must be in her mouth. That is a Proverbs 31 woman. This is not a place where we want to talk about relationship issues. That's going on in the 9th hour, Abba willing. But lastly, on that, we see all these women talking about, I'm a Proverbs 31 woman. But when you read Proverbs 31, does the shoe fit? Please tell me. It says the law of kindness is in her mouth. You a Proverbs 31 woman, but you ain't going and cussing out your husband? I don't care how pissed you are. I don't care what he did. Where in the scriptures does it give you license to go and do that? Nowhere.
Yeah.
It says the law of kindness is in her mouth. If the law of kindness is not in your mouth, you are not a Proverbs 31 woman.
At first it says, who can find one?
Exactly.
Where they at?
Because they are rare.
Yeah, kind.
Nobody just walks down the street. Oh, wow, some rubies. Oh, wow, some gold. Oh, wow, some emeralds. All in one day.
Yeah, right.
No.
That works.
No. People dig and make careers of panning, trying to find gold because it's hard.
Putting in work.
Absolutely. If it was easy, everybody be rich. Everybody have gold everywhere. It ain't easy.
Yeah. Hey, might I add to that too? Just something simple. You know, in the world they got these love languages. I don't necessarily know all of them off the top, but scriptures
It's trash anyway.
Yeah, it is trash anyway. But scriptures is essentially telling us that the Most High's quote unquote love language boils down to respect. You know, keeping of the commandments.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're not keeping the commandments, then the Most High is not. He doesn't understand the way you're showing him love, the way you say that you do, essentially.
Absolutely. There's so many people in relationships that are big on that. What's your love language? Mine is quality time. So you sending me all these gifts. Where's my quality time? This is not how I express love. Well, is Abba Yahweh not the same?
Con.
So many of us are dictating how the Most High wants to be loved, rather than hearing and asking, how does Abba Yahweh like to be loved?
Okay.
And it's right here in the scriptures. Let's get that, Sirach 2:15.
They that fear the Heavenly Father will not disobey his word, and they that love him keep his ways.
If you love Abba Yahweh, you have to keep his ways. It's clear and evident all throughout the scriptures. And so Hasatan is now giving us this newfangled love. That this love is get rid of all the things that Abba Yahweh has said to do.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That all throughout the scriptures we see that what true love is. That Abba Yahweh said, keep my ways, keep my commandments, and keep my covenant.
It's riddled.
Yeah, it's
all over.
All throughout the scriptures. Riddled throughout the scriptures. And yet we think we can love him however we want to do it. That's not the case. Let's read on.
The 16th verse. They that fear the Heavenly Father will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law.
So those that love Abba Yahweh will be filled with the law. We know the law is the sacrifices. If you don't know, we've covered that in the class, Law, Statutes, and Commandments, the difference between the three. So go and watch that class. It's a highly informative class that we did years ago. But nonetheless, if you love the Most High, you will do his commandments, you will follow his ways, and you will be filled with the law. And so now let's go to Exodus 34, AP.com, and then we're going to go to Matthew 22:36, Kahan Gabaria. So now we see that love is keeping the commandments of Abba Yahweh, not emotions. If somebody is telling you that it's emotions, they're leading you down a wrong path. Because what happens when your emotions change?
Yep.
They change all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
You ever heard the saying, you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? It means you just woke up mad. Your emotions just shifted while you was sleeping. And so you're going to dictate your connection to Abba Yahweh on your emotions? That's what Hasatan does.
Yeah.
That's what Satan did to Saul. He saw all the people, the Amalekites. He saw the children. He saw the cattle. He saw the king. And his heart was overwhelmed with compassion. So I got to kill every single one of them? Mm-hmm. And tell me, was the Most High pleased with that?
Absolutely not.
Did the Most High say, I like that? You were filled with emotion. I like what you did.
Got rid of him.
Absolutely. He despised it so much that he got rid of him.
Yeah.
He cast him away and said, your whole lineage is going to be destroyed. The whole lineage of Saul is non-existent.
It's crazy.
Because of what he did. So tell me, is love emotion? Because even in that, he had a goodwill toward Abba Yahweh. He said, I took all the best cattle to sacrifice to Abba Yahweh. How can the Most High not love that? Because you didn't do what he said.
Yeah.
You did not do what he said. So this is true love. Let's get that in Exodus 34:26. We're going to see how, briefly, because this is not a class on love, we're going to briefly talk about how to love Abba Yahweh.
But didn't he also do what the Most High told him not to do? He made sacrifice.
There you go.
Not only did he do what he wasn't supposed to do, he did also, disobey the Most High by not doing what he's supposed to do, and then he went ahead and sacrificed also. The Most High said only the priest could do that. What are you doing that for?
Yep.
So he was just all doing the things based upon his emotions.
Absolutely. And you see another thing he did emotionally. When he went to go and find David, David took refuge amongst the households of the priest. And then, they gave him bread and wine. He sacrificed and said, here's a sword with which you shall vanquish your enemies. And he went about his business. Saul heard about it, came and said, where's David? I need to kill that man. They said, man, I don't know where he went. And they were telling the truth. I don't know. I mean, he came by, but I don't know where he's at.
Yeah.
And what did he say? Man, kill these priests. Saul said, kill these priests.
Yeah.
Out of anger. He was so in anger that he couldn't find David. He said, kill the priest of Abba Yahweh. Emotions got him in trouble. And so we see love, once again, is not about emotion. Exodus 34:26. If love is keeping the commandments, we must know what the commandments are.
Exodus 34:26. The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of the Most High Abba Yahweh.
Now, we're going to show, if you don't know already, these are the true 10 commandments. Right here. We're not in Exodus 20. Exodus 34 is where you find the 10 commandments. Matter of fact, let's read it, the 28th verse.
And he was there with the Most High 40 days and 40 nights. He did neither eat bread nor drink water. And he wrote upon the tables the words of the covenant, the 10 commandments.
He wrote down the 10 commandments. Here are the 10 commandments. Here is the 8th commandment. Go up to 26 again.
The first of the first fruits of thy land shalt thou bring into the house of the Most High thy Abba Yahweh.
This is one of the 10 commandments. To bring the first fruits. And when do you bring the first fruits? Any takers? Anybody with a mic? Let's pass the mic around. When do you give the first fruits? Do you just give it on any random Monday? We got a Porter AP. Pass the mic around. Any takers? When do you bring the first fruits of thy land?
We got one
I
taker.
see a hand over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, sis. What you got?
Shalom.
Shalom.
Is it the Feast of Weeks?
Absolutely.
Hey, month and day.
Yeah, right. Now, when is the Feast of Weeks?
When
is the Feast of Weeks?
When is it?
Go ahead. Go. Hey, bring the mic back to the sister. When is the Feast of Weeks, sis? She got distracted already. When is the Feast of Weeks?
Oh, I don't know the date, but I know it's June 21st.
All right.
So-called right now.
That's, that's close enough.
That's close enough. If you use that, you'll make it.
Right. There you go. Right. You'll be there due time, due season. 4th month, first day. Or coming up in, what is that, 2 weeks?
Yep. Yeah.
2 weeks from today.
Yeah, the weekend of the 20th.
The opportunity is here.
All right.
It's being spied out. Are we going to execute and keep the commandments of Abba Yahweh in 2 weeks to bring the first fruits? This is a commandment, a literal commandment, one of the big 10, as they like to call them. This is the true big 10, the true 10 commandments that are written on the tablets of stone. Exodus 20 ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And we've covered that on several classes. Now's not the time to do that.
And if those are not familiar with the term, because I know you're probably not, Pentecost.
There you go.
This is what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. The Feast of Weeks is Pentecost. Same difference.
Right.
So I know a lot of you is gone and left already. And all I can ask you is, how was the corn?
Yeah, right. Where was your harvest? And we're this weekend, we're about to start the count.
Con.
We're not about to do the 50th day. We're about to start our count toward the 50th day.
Starting.
Right. So many people already did. Pentecost is long gone.
Already gone.
But we about to start. This is one of the commandments. Let's read on. What's the next commandment? What's the 10th commandment?
Exodus 34, latter half of verse 26. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk.
All right. Let's see if my House of Wisdom folk know what they're talking about. Let's get the mic around. What does this commandment mean? What does this 10th commandment mean? You shall not see the kid in his mother's milk. If somebody says it means you can't have a cheeseburger, your membership is suspended.
Indefinitely.
You're going on an 8-month sabbatical. Tell me, what does this scripture, this commandment mean? Let's pass the mic around. What we got?
About a bunch of wide eyes out there.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Right, I see a sister way in the back. The gray sweater. What you got?
Uh-oh.
Who we got? Anybody? We got a hand up front. It's interactive. Anybody online too?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can. If nobody else got it, I'll let you get it.
Could you repeat the question, please?
The 10th commandment, thou shalt not see the kid in its mother's milk. What does that mean? What does that mean?
All right, I'm going to guess.
Okay.
We should not sacrifice a kid. We have to wait until the kid is old enough. Am I right?
Actually, we'll take that. We'll take that. That brother's on point.
You on the right road.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. There are statutes on how to execute the law. So some people might find that confusing. The law is how you sacrifice.
Con.
Statutes are some of the governance, some of the peripheral points on how that's done. Mm-hmm. And so when you sacrificed your newborn goat, lamb, or whatever it may be, it doesn't come right out the womb and then you bring it to the altar.
No.
That's not how it happens. He says it must be with its dam or the mother drinking the milk for these 8 days. Mm-hmm. And after that, bring it to be sacrificed. So in the days of its mother's milk, you cannot sacrifice that kid. You cannot burn it up and sacrifice it. If it's 3 days old, it's too young to sacrifice. On the 8th day, bring it up. Bring it up. That's like bringing your son up to be circumcised on the 5th day.
Yeah, right.
It's not the appropriate time. Come on the 8th day. Due season. Don't come too late. Don't come too soon. You can't come on the 9th day and say, I was busy, I was at work. No. 8th day. Don't say, hey, look, I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be on a trip. We're about to go to Maui and celebrate. So can you circumcise them on the 7th day? No. Most High say 8th day.
Period.
And it's the same thing with the sacrifice of your kid or of the goats. Like the brother said, at a certain age, it will be sacrificed. This is the 10th commandment.
And where is that in Exodus 20?
Exactly.
It's not there.
Exactly. And so we see that these 10 commandments have all to do with sacrifice. We picked up on the 8th, but if we read all throughout it, it would all be about sacrifice, feast days, giving worship unto Abba Yahweh. And so now let's read on.
Exodus 34, verse 27. And the Most High said unto Moses, write thou these words, for after the tenor of these words I have made a covenant with thee and with Israel.
These words, these commandments, are the foundation of our covenant with Abba Yahweh. This is the foundation. Everything else branches out of that. The law, or I don't even call it law, the statute to wear fringes isn't a standalone thing. It's so you can remember the commandments. It's so that you can be adorned like the temple of Abba Yahweh, And always have that temple in your mind. And never forsake and never forget it's a Shabbat day, a day I must go and sacrifice. But everything stems from these words, these commandments. So this is like the spine, the anatomy of our covenant. The 10 Commandments is the spine. If you take out the spine, you have a paraplegic. You have a handicapped person. You don't have somebody who's standing upright. The spine is the center of everything, and everything else branches off of that. Your arms are connected to your shoulder bones, are connected to your spine. Yep. Your legs are connected to your pelvis, connected to your spine. And so all these other things are peripheral things that support these commandments. This is the center. This is the heart of it all. And so if you love Abba Yahweh, you will hold these commandments in high regard and high esteem. So now, this is love, is keeping Abba Yahweh's covenant. Let's understand that love can be boiled down into that. Keeping Abba Yahweh's covenant. If you keep his covenant, which has all to do with the commandments, but also the laws, also the statutes, also the judgments, you love Abba Yahweh. Doesn't matter how you feel that day. If you were angry and upset and you said, I don't even want to show up to Feast of Weeks, but you said, I'm going to come anyway, you have showed that you love Abba Yahweh. You must keep his covenant. You must keep the covenant. That is true love. Now let's go to Matthew 22 and 36.
Can I say something before we move
Absolutely.
on that word covenant? I saw something the other day. I saw a video. And listen, beware, right? Because what I'm seeing now that I haven't seen since I've been here, there is a particular group, and it'll probably start growing. All of a sudden, they're using the word covenant out of nowhere. Where did you get that from? Be careful. These guys will be speaking about covenants and know nothing about the covenant that they're in. I just thought that was strange that these folks are now using words that we use all the time, but you're not using what covenant that you're in. So beware.
Right.
Know what covenant that you're in and know how to operate in it. I just thought I should say that because that blew me out of the water. These guys are stealing our material.
Yep. Yeah.
Believe it.
Yeah.
And it's not our material. It's what the Heavenly Father has given to us, and now they're trying to take those things away from us as if the Most High gave it to them. No, sir. Knock it off.
And we want this to spread. We want everybody to receive this information. But what we don't want is the people to take this fire and play with it. This information that Abba Yahweh has given us is like a loaded gun. Now you plop a loaded gun in the midst of all these children, somebody gonna shoot themselves.
Yeah, they're gonna get hurt.
Or they're gonna shoot somebody else. And so that's the concern. We talk about all the time the 7 sons of Sceva. Saw Paul and said, whoa, he's doing an exorcism. I want to do an exorcism.
That looks easy.
They hit that, what was that, Staples button. That was easy. Let me go ahead and get to it. And so they tried. And they tried their best.
Didn't work out.
But their best was not good enough.
Yep.
And what happened? Those spirits came and bruised and battered and destroyed them. So much so, they ran out of the building they were in butt naked and bruised. I mean, that spirit, the man that the spirit was on, whooped them so bad, his clothes was ripping off.
Yeah.
And they had nothing to do but run out of the house. And this is why we say we don't want people just taking this information, because they take it and now they mix it with some astrology and some Egyptology and this and that. And now you have essentially a Nadab and Abihu situation.
God.
You offering strange fire. Like, I understand that we got to give these sacrifices, but can I sprinkle in some of this Egyptology I had back in Egypt?
Better not.
Can I put a little ankh at the altar? Maybe it's a heaving and waving. I can put a little round thing on the top and make an ankh. Okay. Go ahead. But you've been warned.
Yeah, this is the equivalent of mixing 2 medications that you're not supposed to. You will end up hurt or dead.
Yep.
You don't want to do that.
Yep.
It's a dangerous situation to do.
Yep. Imagine you had a doctor who did not go to med school. Imagine you had a doctor who's like, I've been on Google. I know this stuff. I know how to do open heart surgery.
It's a lot of them out here, though.
Yeah.
Tune into the podcast in the 9th hour. Because we got some false doctors out here, too. But if you had a doctor who never went through med school, never been trained, and he said, I think I cut the chest open with an axe. That's the sharpest tool I got in my shed. Let me just go ahead.
You in trouble.
Yep. Do you really have somebody who knows what they're doing? I actually saw a story of some guy in Japan who didn't like looking like a failure. And so he faked his way through med school and into a doctor's office. And people died behind that because they actually had him doing surgeries on people. And not only just any surgery, dude was doing brain surgeries.
Wow. Party's over.
Dude was doing brain surgeries, cutting brains open, and he was going over there pulling nerves and cutting things, and people had internal bleeding and all that kind of stuff. People died because this guy couldn't just say, you know what, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm not skilled at this. Let me go find what I'm good at. But this is what people are doing spiritually. They're spiritually trying to be your doctor, and they know nothing about what they're talking about.
Zero.
This is the covenant of love. There's 5 covenants. One is peace. One is thanksgiving. One is love. And one is... You have a doctor that doesn't know what he's doing. Would you let him do surgery on you? Don't let these false doctors do surgery on your soul. Let's go. Where were we? Matthew 22, 26?
Con.
Or 36?
36.
Con.
Matthew, which is the greater commandment in the law?
So one of the lawyers, one of the priests of that day of Moses' covenant came to the Messiah and said, tell us, what is the greatest commandment in this law, in our covenant? Read on.
And Yahweh said unto him, thou shalt love Abba Yahweh with all of thy heart, and with all of thy soul, and with all of thy mind.
All right. So he said, this is the first and great commandment. Matter of fact, he's going to say that. Read on.
This is the first and great commandment.
So as we've covered, love the Most High with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. This is not about emotions. This is about, are you keeping the covenant of Abba Yahweh? Are you keeping his covenant? And as Gabaria said, the correct covenant. You could be in Moses' covenant right now. You're not loving Abba Yahweh.
No.
You could be doing Moses' covenant to a T. You do not love Abba Yahweh. Because that's not what the Most High wants. He told you, worship me in sincerity and in truth. Come to my spiritual tabernacle and worship me. Keep my commandments, my feast days, in this holy tabernacle. And so, this is the first and great commandment. You must keep covenant with Abba Yahweh. Now, what is the second?
And the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
This is the second great commandment, that you must love your neighbor as yourself. Now, we went through this whole process of explaining what love is, not for us to just forget it right now.
Con.
And say love your neighbor means, Gabaria, come here, give me a hug, Gabaria. That got nothing to do with love. Doesn't matter how I feel about Gabaria, but it's about something else. It's about, do I keep covenant with Gabaria? Do I keep covenant with Akam? Do I keep covenant with all the members of the House of Wisdom? And even those outside the House of Wisdom, do I operate within the metrics of the covenant of Abba Yahweh? It has nothing to do with how you feel. And if you're going off of how you feel, Hasatan is running through you. Let's read on.
And on these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Everything is circled around here. These are the two main things. If you understand what love is, love Abba Yahweh, then love your neighbor. Or, let's translate it another way. Keep covenant with Abba Yahweh, and then keep covenant with your neighbor.
Con.
Everything hinges on that. Everything in the scriptures is about how you deal with Abba Yahweh and how you deal with your neighbor. It's not about, you're not transgressing if you keep a messy house. They ain't great. They ain't cool. But is it a transgression? No. Do we recommend it? No. Is it going to have some negative ramifications? Yes.
Con.
But if you keep your house dirty and you live by yourself and you live in a roach motel, you ain't transgressing. Yeah, you just nasty. You just nasty. But you have not transgressed necessarily anyway. You could go into some transgressions, but that's another thing Christians say. Look, cleanliness is next to godliness. They literally are going against the scripture. Loving your neighbor is next to godliness.
Con.
Is next to loving Abba Yahweh, not cleanliness. Cleanliness is good. I am not despair. You should be clean. Should absolutely be clean. But now you transgress. If you come from that roach motel and don't wash and try to give an oblation, now you don't love Abba Yahweh.
Yeah.
Now you've transgressed. Go and clean yourself up before you give
before
Abba
you come
Yahweh's
up in
worship.
here, yeah.
Absolutely. So on these things hang the law and the prophets. And so it's not about anything else. Everything else in our covenant is about loving Abba Yahweh and loving your neighbor. Now, why do we talk about this? Before we go to, if you grab Exodus 20 now, let's go back to that Matthew 24 and get that 12th verse, Kahan Gabaria. Let's go back to that and read it again. Because once again, this is the spine of this class. Go ahead.
And because iniquity shall abound.
So this is what we're talking about. Sin, iniquity shall abound. And what is the result of sin abounding?
The love of many shall wax cold.
The love of many, not affection, not emotion. There's a lot of emotions out here in this world. A lot of them.
Yeah.
People love their cats and their dogs and all these other things. But they don't love each other.
Con.
They don't keep covenant with one another. Because they initially did not keep covenant with Abba Yahweh. This is the cycle that we see today. And when you start to see that en masse, you start to know you are in the last days. Let's go now to Exodus 20 and verse 12.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
So these are not the 10 commandments. You don't read Exodus 20 on your own time. Do you see tablets of stone?
0.
Do you see Moses even going up the mountain yet? Do you see the Most High engraving on them tablets? Do you see Moses coming down the mountain and bringing the tablets back and saying, here, I brought the tablets. Here's the first thing, honor thy father and mother. You do not see that.
Right, and this is how you would know that, the story is not placed out chronologically. Because somebody asked me, are you sure they didn't put the story together and not chronologically? It's together chronologically, but you don't see the fact where they have the tablets of stone yet. It don't come until later. So, and then also what was on the stones, the first 10, we don't necessarily know, but the second stones that was given, it's in Exodus 30. So it's not Exodus 20 at all.
Yeah, they trying to make that argument right. That's what it was.
Yeah, you do anything to make your point right.
Yep.
You sure it's not mixed up? And you sure he went up and then Exodus 20 can't? Oh,
Nah.
Really? That's what you're gonna go for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just so stuck in the way, and I get it because we're raised as kids.
Yep.
Talking about memorize these 10 commandments, and then we take that to 40, 50 years, and to hear that was wrong, that's hard. I get it.
It's like maybe there's a mistake somewhere. Yeah,
Right.
They made it, not us.
Yeah. They came and told you these are the 10 commandments.
Yeah.
But if you love Abba Yahweh, you won't stick in your own ways. You'll go in his ways. His ways are, read this. Let me show you Exodus 34. The true 10 commandments didn't even come to, I think it was the 25th chapter. And yes, it's chronological.
Con.
So let's take that argument that it's not chronological. I guess Exodus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, when they were in Egypt and left, all that wasn't in chronological order too. I guess they left, then came back, then put the plagues on Egypt, and then left again. Come on, let's take that argument further.
Right.
It doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense. So, these are not the 10 commandments. You do not see anything related to 10 commandments here in Exodus 20. Anything at all. You only see that in Exodus 34. Or you see all of it after this chapter. So these here are what? Anybody, let's pass the mic around again. What are these? If these are not commandments in Exodus 20, what do we have here? What are they in Exodus 20? I think I heard the right answer over here.
Yeah, go ahead.
What we
give
got?
him the mic. Go give him the mic.
Let everybody on YouTube hear you.
Yeah. The wrong bay.
Statutes.
There you go. God, right on point.
Yeah.
Right on point. These are statutes. These are means by which we should govern ourselves. Ways in which we should deal with one another. So if this is how you deal with one another in the covenant, these are true points of love. This is true love. So true love is Exodus 20 and 12.
There you go.
Let's go and read that again. AP.com.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
So this is true love.
The true love scriptures.
Yeah, there you go. These are the love notes of Abiyah. The sweet nothings of Most High. Honor thy father and thy mother. Once again, has nothing to do with emotions. There's some of us who learn that we're Israel and learn about our culture and learn that we are not to keep these abominable days of the heathens. And yet our parents are still stuck in there, like Abraham. Now, Abraham reverenced his father, honored him, but he honored the Most High above him. But just because his father was a pagan worshiper of idols, that doesn't mean he had the right to say, F you, dad, you ain't nothing. He didn't have nothing, no right to do that.
Yeah, that's right.
Or else he's not loving Abba Yahweh. And so some of us are in those same situations. Your parents might tell you to do something that's off, and you say, look, I can't do that, but look, Mom, I love you, I respect you. Ask me anything else. Ask anything else of me within the scope of my covenant, and I will do it. I will honor and reverence you. And so this has nothing to do with your feelings or your emotions. You might have the worst relationship with your parents ever.
Yeah.
And you may have some disdain in your mind against them. But does that mean you can cuss them out and tell them off? Absolutely not. If you do that, you don't love Abba Yahweh. Because you're not loving your brother. You're not loving your neighbor, the people around you. This is how you love your neighbor. It ain't got nothing to do with how you feel.
That's right.
Let's read on.
Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Most High thy Abba Yahweh giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill.
You shall not murder. If you murder, you hate your brother. Now, there's a lot of people who murdered out of love.
That should have justified everything.
Right. If this is love, that justified me killing this person.
Not guilty.
Right.
Because you loved her so much.
I got news that my wife was cheating. And I'm so filled with emotion that I went and murdered her and her lover. Yeah. Right. And myself. Is that love?
No.
Is that true biblical love? You were overcome by emotions. What's the difference between that emotion that you experienced there and the emotion of, being enamored with somebody or some person? What's the difference? It's all some sort of psychological move in your mind. What's the difference in the eyes of Abba Yahweh? So do not murder. If you murder somebody because you were, or even you thought you were doing a good thing. You murder somebody because they did something to your family. You love your family so much that this person who stole from you or whatever, you went and murdered him. Is that love? Is that the love that Abba Yahweh wants you to do? No, because there's statutes that govern that. Moses said, if you find a man breaking into your house, you home, and you hear that window break and you see some foots coming in, go ahead and light it up.
Yeah.
Moses said, don't spare nothing.
Yeah.
Go ahead and don't even aim. Just blast.
And he said, no blood shall be spilt for that man.
Yeah, the blood's not on your hands.
Yeah.
It's not on your hands. But let's say you were away. Let's say you got cameras on your house. Somebody comes in, breaks in. Is that Tyrone? That's Tyrone.
What?
I know where Tyrone lives. I'm about to roll on Tyrone. And so you go and find his spot, and then you light the spot up, and you kill Tyrone. He said, no, that's unacceptable. Your blood shall now be spilt too.
Oh, yeah.
That is love. You may be upset. You may hate Tyrone. You can bring him up on charges for sure, but you can't go and murder him.
Right.
Because he stole from your house while you were away. And you might say, he stole something. He stole whatever. My daughter's college fund. He stole that from my daughter who I love. Who I love. I'm going to go kill him. Is that true love? You might say, I did what was right in my heart. Well, your heart is desperately wicked.
Yeah.
You must know the will of Abba Yahweh. You shall not murder. This is points of love. If you can be vehemently angry and still not murder, you still love your brother. You can despise somebody and not lay your hand to them. You have not murdered. You have loved your neighbor. David did that. Let's take examples from our forefathers. David did that. David sent emissaries. Actually, David first was taking care of the flock of a man named Nabal.
God.
Taking care of the flock. He had his men, and he said, when his flock goes and passes, you make sure you feed them. You make sure you go and take care of them. All right? Make sure you do all that. Don't touch his flock. Don't do anything. That's a fellow brother in Israel.
Yeah.
Now, later on, he came back and said, now, Nabal, I need you to return that favor. I need you to send some men because we need to form this troop. I said, who's David, man? Let's go David. I don't care about no David.
Who told you to do that for me?
Right.
I ain't tell you to do that.
Right. Thanks, I guess. I can handle my own flock.
God.
Now, David was so enraged, he was about to roll on him. He had sword and spear ready to go to let his head roll, and all men of his house. He was going to put an end to that man's house. And the Most High had Abigail come and stop him. And he was like, what am I doing? That's not love.
God.
That's not true love. And the Most High took care of it for him. Most High fought his battle for him. Now, because he stopped, it doesn't matter what he thought about Nabal.
God.
Doesn't matter what he thought at all.
That's right.
But because he didn't put his sword to him in his house, he loved his neighbor.
Yep. Yeah, he didn't perform the action.
Right. He didn't do this wicked thing. And so that is true love. That is true love, according to our covenant. He kept covenant with Nabal, even though he didn't return it to him. Let's read on.
Yeah.
Exodus 20 and 12.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
Actually, verse 14, my bad.
Thou shalt not commit adultery.
Ain't adultery all about love? Ain't it all about love? I love this woman so much, I don't care who she connected to. Ain't that what adultery is? You just so overcome by feelings. But if you're overcome by those feelings and you take this man's wife and lay with her, you have not loved your brother.
No.
Doesn't matter what you felt about that woman. As a side note, I heard Joe Biden did that. Heard that's how Joe Biden met Jill Biden, whatever her name is. I heard she was married already. They met, started doing stuff. And then he was a senator at the time. This is all I've heard. I haven't confirmed it. He sent goons to this guy's house and said, hey, you better file for divorce for Jill. He's like, hell nah, it's my wife. All right, we about to seize your house. We about to go. We found you on tax fraud. We about to find you guilty and send you to 10 years in prison. This is, yeah, there you go. This is not love. This is not true biblical love. That is not loving your brother. Even though he loved Jill. Ain't got nothing to do with your emotions. Let's read on. What's the next one?
Verse 15. Thou shalt not steal.
Thou shalt not steal. Do not steal. If you steal from your brother, you do not love your brother. You may have all the best emotions and best feelings for your brother, and you just, whatever. Satan got you down and out, and you like, man, I love my father, but he don't need it. Let me go through his wallet and take that.
He got it.
Yeah. That's not real love. That is not real love. Let's read on.
16. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
Once again, if you lie against your neighbor, like the judges did against Susanna
Yeah.
on false charges, that is the opposite of love. But didn't they fall in love with Susanna?
They sure did.
Didn't they fall in love with her? You're right, they didn't. Because they lied against her. They brought false witness against her. So truly, they didn't love her.
That's right.
If they loved her, they would have said, you know what? I saw her bathing and she's a beautiful woman. But I'm going to check and correct these thoughts. Because for one, I'm going to be doing this next verse. I'm going to be transgressing that. And it's going to cause me to bear false witness. And it's going to cause me to commit adultery. That is not love, even though they thought they were in love with her. Mm-hmm. Let's read on. Verse 17.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Now, this is interesting. Because covet is all in your mind. It's all emotional.
Right. There you go.
It's all emotional. Covet is I desire that man's house. His house is beautiful. I've fallen in love with his house. I desire it. So Most High said, check that thought. Don't desire what is another man. Don't desire his house or what else?
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
Don't covet or desire or fall in love with this man's wife. Or what else?
Nor his manservant.
Or his manservant or the employees, the people he has.
Con.
Or what else?
Or nor his maidservant. Nor his ox. Nor his ass. Nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
So let's take it to the modern day example. He's running a business. I want his business.
Yeah.
I want his cars. I want his house. I want his woman. This is not true love. You may have rode in his nice Corvette and you've fallen in love with it. And now you want his specific Corvette that they only made, 200 of. So you know you're not going to find another one.
Yeah.
I want this one. That is not true love. True love is, look, this is my brothers, this is my neighbors. I'm not going to desire. I'm not going to covet it. Once again, covet is an emotion. Covet is all internally. So how is it that the Most High is saying, be emotional toward me, but everything he's saying is don't be emotional?
Right.
Don't be overcome by your emotions. I always say that emotions should be the recourse of a good relationship.
Con.
We tend to build relationships on emotions. Why are you with this person? Because I love them. Okay, well, tell me, formulaically, why are you with this person? Like, what about them? What commonality do y'all have? How do y'all work together well? It's just love is so strong. It's the same thing with Abba Yahweh. Don't be emotional first about Abba Yahweh. It says the fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom, and in wisdom you will be disciplined. You reverence Abba Yahweh first, and then in that you study and see what he wants you to do, and then you discipline yourself in that. And then in that you've completed the love of Abba Yahweh. Don't just be emotional about it. Go and understand the things that you must do. And then when you do those things, when you come to the feast, when you give him the Most High's oblations, and he sees that you are diligent and dedicated, he will bestow unto you blessings that will then make you emotional.
Right.
The blessings will indeed make you emotional, and that's fine. That's good, actually. But don't let the emotions come first. You're putting the cart before the horse. You have a car with no engine in it. The emotions is like the nice things, like the accent lighting and the leather interior, and that's the emotions. Mm-hmm. But do you want leather interior and accent lighting and no wheels?
Yeah, right.
No engine? Yep. No transmission? How you going to go anywhere? You're not. You just have a nice seat that you sitting on the road in. You're on the side of the road in this nice leather seat with LED lights around it. Get the important stuff first. And as I know it's a side note, we need to save this for the podcast. But that's why I hate modern day car commercials. They sell you on emotions. Everything is, you see the Kia Soul commercial, they got the chipmunks like, oh, that looks fun. I want to buy a Kia Soul. That's not how I work. Tell me what kind of engine's in it.
Yeah, right.
Tell me what kind of transmission you got. Tell me what size the wheels are. Tell me what the MPGs are on it. That's what I want to know. And then after that, does it have leather seats? Does it have heated seats? That's the extra stuff that's nice to have. That's the equivalent of emotions. So let's go back to the point of this class. Let's actually read that again, Matthew 24, verse 12. If you can grab that, Kahan Gabaria. And then we're going to go to Genesis 4 and 3, AP Hakam. And so we've covered longer than we probably should have what love is, what true love is. Love is keeping covenant with Abba Yahweh. And so in return, loving your neighbor is keeping covenant, these things we just read in Exodus 20, and all the other statutes with your neighbor. This is true love. It doesn't matter how you feel. It doesn't matter what you think about somebody. It matters about what you do, your actions. Your actions show, do you actually love somebody? And so let's read Matthew 24, verse 12 again. And I'll be willing to have the full understanding so we can bring the heart of this class in.
And because iniquity shall abound, the love...
So because sin, this evil, wicked force, shall proliferate over the entire earth, what shall happen?
The love of many shall wax cold.
The breaking of covenant shall be all around. People will not keep covenant with one another. Now, there's all types of love going on. Right now in Israel, in the Dead Sea, they better have the biggest love fest on earth. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. If you know, you know. It's a big love fest. But tell me, where's the keeping of covenant there?
God.
It ain't there. But these people will swear up and down they love each other. The love of many, the keeping of covenant has waxed cold. Let's get a prime example of this in our history, in times past. Genesis chapter 4, verse 3.
And in the process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground for an offering unto the Most High. And Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Most High had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Most High said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?
All right, so I'll spare the congregation. We won't ask a question, but we'll just break it down. Abel brought the first of his flock. The choicest, the best, the firstborn. Brought that and sacrificed it, as we covered, according to the commandments, after 8 days. 7 days, that firstborn calf was with his dam, or his dame, and then after that, brought to sacrifice to Abba Yahweh. Kept commandment. The Most High reciprocated and blessed him, because Abel showed he truly loved Abba Yahweh. But now Cain did the opposite. Cain said, I know the commandment. I understand it. I was taught by my father Adam as well. But I'm going to do the opposite. I know I got this big, red, juicy tomato. It's the first one that came in, the best. But I want that.
Yeah.
Who's Abba Yahweh? He deserves that. I got this rotten one that, is sitting and about to fall off the vine, didn't really get all the nutrients. I'm going to give Abba Yahweh that, and I'm going to take the best one for myself. And the Most High is like, I don't respect that. Once again, doesn't say anything about Cain's emotions. Matter of fact, Cain got emotional.
Yep.
He got wroth, and his countenance fell. He was emotional. It shows you the Most High don't respect your emotions. Your emotions don't dictate your worship or your connection to Abba Yahweh. Are you keeping his commandments? Are you doing what he told you to do? Cain clearly was emotional. Abel wasn't emotional here. Abel was like, what did Abba Yahweh tell me to do? That's what I'm going to do. So now we see that Cain transgressed. Cain now broke the commandment of Abba Yahweh, or AKA he did not love Abba Yahweh. He did not keep Abba Yahweh's love language. Let's read on.
Genesis 4 verse 7. If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted?
So anybody who may be new, who may not understand, Here's why earlier we were talking about sin is a spirit. Cain, if you do well, if you keep my commandments, if you love me, I will accept you, says Abba Yahweh. Read on.
And if thou doest not well,
AKA, if you transgress. Doing not well is the transgression. Cain already broke the commandment. He did not bring the first fruits in due season. So he already transgressed. Read on.
sin lieth at the door.
Sin is a subsequent act after you've already done wrong. Sin comes after doing wrong. So how is sin missing the mark?
Yeah.
How is sin transgression of the law? Time order for us to go to 1 John. But we've broken that down in the sin class. Go watch that if you still think sin is transgression of the law. Go and watch that class. So he said, if you do not well, if you break the commandments, sin, iniquity is lying at the door. What door? The door to your house? The door to your shed? The door to your business? Or the door to your mind? You have a tabernacle in your mind. And Satan is now at the door. Sin, iniquity is at the door. I got a bench warrant for Cain. Let's read on.
And unto thee shall be his desire. And thou
he personified sin, or he put a pronoun on sin. Sin said, my pronouns is he, him.
God, talk about it.
Yeah. Sin got some pronouns. Said, his desire unto you, Cain. Sin shall now desire you. Sin wants you. Sin wants to enter into you and do what?
And thou shalt rule over him.
Cain ain't about to rule over sin. Cain ain't about to rule over Satan.
You ain't about to rule over nothing.
He ain't about to rule over nothing except what Satan gives him rule over. Sin. You, sin, shall rule over Cain. And what happens when you have rulership? When you have rulership, you tell somebody what to do.
Yep.
You give them instruction, not just instruction, you give them decrees. You say, you must do this.
And you gonna do it too.
Yeah, you gonna do it.
Do it. That's right.
You gonna do it. Like the government today, America, it rules. Imagine they say, you must pay this income tax. There's people like, income tax is illegal. There's no real law. You right, but you wrong at the same time.
Yeah.
Tell that to the IRS and they come knocking. Ain't no such thing as income tax. Put your hands behind your back.
Yep. Exactly.
You coming with us.
Tell it to the judge.
Right. Tell it to the judge. And I know the judge is my brother.
He ain't going to hear it.
Yeah. You going to jail. That's what sin does. That's how sin operates. You transgressed. You have transgressed. And so we can look at this like anything else. Look at this like a traffic infraction. What happens if you go in 95 and a 32 or a 35? You get pulled over and you get a serious fine, a serious speeding ticket. Now, there's a solution to that. You can get a lawyer. You can pay the lawyer. You can have them work that charge down, and then you might pay a fine. You might have to go through some defensive driving course, and you scot-free. The marks are gone. But what happens if you just ignore it? You say, I don't care. I got a ticket. What they going to do? If you don't appear to court, they put out a warrant for your arrest.
It ain't going away.
Yeah, right. It ain't going away.
Nah, until they get you.
The next time you get pulled over, they grab your license, they run that joint. Oh, you have a warrant from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I ain't forget about that. This county didn't forget about that. This is how sin works. The transgression was speeding over, you going 95 and a 35. That is the transgression.
Con.
Now you've been accused. You've been caught. The police officer in this analogy is like Hasatan. You've been caught. You've been accused. Now you have a court date. And if you don't come by that court date, sin can come and arrest you.
They will.
Yeah, they will. Sin will come and take your freedom away. Your ability to do what you want to do, what you think is good, what is sensible even. This is how sin works, and this is how sin worked on Cain. Now remember Matthew 24:12, he said, because iniquity shall abound, just like we're seeing with Cain. Sin is now abounding in him. The love of many shall wax cold. Let's read on now in Genesis.
Chapter 4, verse 8. And Cain talked with his brother Abel, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him.
We see now the love waxing cold. He no longer kept covenant with his brother Abel. It didn't have anything to do with how he felt. Because actually Cain was stirred up with emotions.
Yeah.
But who gave him those emotions? It was Hasatan. He made him say, why was your brother accepted? Why is he speaking rude to you? Why is it he's just angry and he just comes and kill him? He didn't plan to do that.
Right.
He didn't plan to go and kill him. The spirits of sin that arrested him made him go and kill his brother. We see iniquity abounding, and now love or keeping of covenant has gone cold. Abel didn't like Cain either, the way he was talking to him.
Yeah, that's right.
However, he was not about to raise his hand up to his brother. He kept covenant with him. Cain was the one who broke covenant with his brother by slaying him, by, once again, murdering his brother. That is the lack of love, not affection. There's people who used to be here and no longer here, talking about ain't no love here. Really? We keep covenant all day, every day with our brothers. Don't matter how we feel about you. Don't matter what we think about you. But rest assured, brothers' stuff are not coming missing. There's brothers who left valuables here.
Gone.
And then, gone. And then they were out of town too. And they came back. Is my tablet there? My brand new iPad? Yes, yeah, we found it. It's right here waiting right where you left it. That's true love. Yeah. That is true love. It don't have anything to do with how you feel about that brother. It's about, did you keep this covenant with him? Now let's read that actually 8th verse again, and then we're going to go now to John 14 and 27, if you grab that Kahan Gabaria.
Genesis 4, verse 8. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother, and slew him. So
this is what we're going to see in the last days. We're going to see this spirit of Cain triumphing. We're going to see it start to proliferate. That there's going to be those who firstly don't keep covenant with Abba Yahweh, and then secondly, don't keep covenant with their brother. As a consequence, you first transgress against Abba Yahweh, and then because you've done that, sin will enter into you and make you completely destroy the covenant by destroying and coming against your brother. Let's read that John 14, 27. Kahan Gabaria.
Peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you. Not as the world giveth. Give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid.
So the Messiah, once again, is making a distinction between what the world says one thing is and what reality is, what he's really going to give. He says, I'm leaving peace with you, but not like how the world claims peace is. We're going to read it a little bit later, but Wisdom of Solomon says they call these so great plagues peace. They call this abundance of iniquity, the lack of true love, not keeping covenant with one another. They call that peace.
Yeah.
They call that times of peace. The Messiah said that is not peace. Let me show you the truth of peace. Let me show you the true peace offerings. And in that, in the purification of your soul through this sin offering, through this trespass offering, and being in unity with Abba Yahweh through this peace offering, let me show you how to be at peace with your brother. Let me show you how to really give shalom or shalom to your brother. It's not just a greeting. It means something. Let's drop down to the 30th verse, Kahan Gabari. Let's get back on this track of true love.
Hereafter I will not talk much with you, for the prince of this world cometh, and has nothing in me.
So the Messiah, once again, we're back in John 14, where he's about to be crucified, and he gives these instructions, these words to his disciples. And he says, afterward, I'm not going to talk with you much like we used to. We were talking face to face. I'm going to talk to you for 40 days, and I'm going to bounce after this. And so he says, after this, after me, and after you, the prince of this world is coming. Who is that? Who is the prince of this world? Who is ruling and governing and running this world? None other than Hasatan. He is the prince of the power of the air, the prince of darkness. And he is now presently ruling this world after the Messiah and all the men of light have passed away, as is written about and prophesied in Ezra. How that the Messiah shall come and bring his disciples, and all men of light shall then pass away and go back, and the world shall go back to its darkness and its stillness for the remainder of the 7 days, or the 7,000 years.
So it's not Trump.
Yeah. Not Trump, not Biden, not Obama, not Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan's first name has 6 letters.
Yeah, I remember them days.
His middle name got 6 letters in it. His last name got 6 letters in it too. That's the 666.
Devil.
Crazy. This has nothing to do with it. This is Hasatan. This is Satan and the spirits of sin that we see the Messiah talking about in Matthew 24. That iniquity shall abound. Hasatan shall come and snuff out all light and make iniquity, sin, his evil spirits abound in the world. And he has nothing to do with the Messiah the Prince. Nothing at all. He wants to snuff out the work that the Messiah the Prince is doing. And so we see how this world is going to come to an end. When you start to see wickedness coming to a full. When you start to see wickedness abounding more than all manners of righteousness. More than even sound reason. Even in times past, in former generations, sin was proliferating, absolutely. But at least you still had some sort of guidelines, some sort of boundaries. You had people doing all types of crazy, wicked stuff, but you at least had people say, like, for example, all this LGBTQ stuff. They talk about they want to legalize marriage. You would have people doing that stuff and be like, marriage? What the hell, nah. I still got to have a wife. I still got to produce kids. Now today, it's, no, we want to get married. We want to live this life openly. Like, they would do that stuff behind closed doors. It was wicked, but at least they had some sort of, some sort of guidelines on what's acceptable. But as you start to see wickedness come to a full, you start to see all those guidelines start to erode away.
Yeah.
Because the prince of this world has caused iniquity, sin to abound. Let's drop that. Let's go to Leviticus 5. Pick up the 17th verse, Hakam, and then we're going to go to Romans 7 and 10. So this is the position that we're in now. After the death of the Messiah and all the apostles, all the men of light, Hasatan came and he had reign to cause iniquity to spread. And iniquity is like, it's not just something that's just, I wouldn't say it doesn't just pop up, but it's like a virus. It needs a host to incubate in. Without people and without it spread, without people like getting in contact with each other, the virus won't spread. So it takes time, right? It doesn't just 0 today and then 100% tomorrow.
Yeah.
It spreads over time. And so this is what happened. Iniquity abounding. When the apostles and the people of light died and all the Christians were persecuted and then they died and passed away, now you start to have this person with this virus, patient 0, spread that out to the next person. Then he spreads it to the next person. It keeps going like a virus. It takes time to abound. And now where we're at in our day, anybody with eyes can see, anybody with any sort of spiritual or moral compass, so to speak, can see it. That iniquity has abound just like a virus. Just like we can look at, the previous, pandemic. They say it started over in China, and it took some months to get over here. That's how sin works. Start somewhere, and then over time, it starts to spread. And when it spreads across the whole earth, the love of many shall wax cold.
There you go.
That's what we're seeing today. That everybody, almost everybody, is not keeping covenant with Abba Yahweh. And this doesn't matter. Tell COVID, I don't believe in it, I'm not going to catch it.
Right.
Tell that to any sort of virus. I don't believe in you. It doesn't affect me. That's the same thing with this spiritual virus. I don't know. Is it okay to say, COVID now on YouTube? I don't even know now.
Yeah, no.
It's so finicky.
Can't say anything.
Even this video is cool. We might, in 5 years, your class and Sin Shall Abound has been taken down because you mentioned. Anyway, this is how this spiritual virus works too. Satan doesn't care if you believe in this covenant or not.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. It's inconsequential.
These are the rules of the game.
These are the rules of the game.
Yeah.
Go around a sick person and say, I don't believe in viruses. And tell me, are you going to get a virus or not?
Yeah.
You still going to get that virus.
Yep.
It's the same thing with sin. Let's get that, Leviticus 5:17.
And if a soul sin and commit any of these things which are forbidden to be done by the commandments of the Most High.
So there's things that are forbidden to be done, regardless of who you are. If a man does it, read on.
Should I say though he knew it not or wist?
It doesn't. Yeah, either way.
All right. Though he knew it not.
So even though he doesn't know that he did something forbidden, read on.
Yet is he guilty.
Yet he did it.
It's the rules of the game.
You're right. These are rules. These are the rules of the game. I didn't know the speed limit was 35.
Tell it to the judge.
Well,
Yeah.
Take this ticket in the meantime.
Right. I didn't know. I'm not even from here. I'm from Argentina. Over there, it's something different. Or let's flip the script. Let's say you're an American and you go to Canada. I saw 100 as the speed limit. I thought it was 100. You dummy, it's kilometers. That's 60 miles an hour. You are going to jail, or you're at least getting a ticket. And then, yes, you must come back to Canada. I know you're from Florida. You got to come back to Toronto and face this charge.
Yep.
Big dummy. Doesn't matter you thought it was 100 miles an hour. It's 100 kilometers. That is the same thing with the Most High's covenant.
And if you don't make amends, there's a bench warrant coming out for you.
There you go.
Even though you live in America.
There you go. Doesn't matter what you think. That's why they got speed traps. I just got off the highway, and I'm on this big road. I was going 85 on the highway, that was fine, and I go on here, I'm still going about, I'm slowing down a little, I'm going about 75. I didn't know it dropped down to 45.
Yeah, crazy.
Just because you didn't know don't mean nothing. Mm-hmm. You are getting your ticket. It's the same thing with this. So read that verse again, actually.
Leviticus chapter 5, verse 17. And if a soul sin and commit any of these things which are forbidden to be done by the commandments of the Most High, though he knew it not, yet is he guilty, and shall bear his iniquity.
You shall still bear your iniquity, whether you knew it or not. So just like we said, I don't believe in speed limits. I paid for this dashboard. I'm going to use the full dashboard. All right? I'm going to go 160. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you think. You still going to jail. I think at that point, you're going 160. I think they take you straight to jail. I ain't think they give you a ticket.
Yeah. Shoot.
You're right. I don't need a driver's license. I'm traveling.
I'm not driving, I'm traveling.
Right. All right. Bet. Tell the judge. All right. Tell the judge. It doesn't matter what you think. What the rules are the rules. Like I said, you don't believe in this virus. Mm-hmm. And so you say, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to herb up. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to go around all these sick people because I don't believe in viruses. And you get got. And so this is the same thing in our covenant. Doesn't matter if I don't believe in your God. Doesn't matter. You work on the Shabbat, Satan is coming to accuse you.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you think. Doesn't matter if you don't believe in the Most High. It doesn't matter if you believe in the Most High, but you think he did away with the old covenant laws.
Yep.
The laws, statutes, and commandments. And you say, I don't need to keep Passover because Christ is my Passover. So I'm going to do Easter. It don't matter what you think. Hasatan is still accusing you. You still going 85 in the 25. And you still getting this ticket. And every time you come through this school zone going 50 in a 25, that flock camera is scanning your license plate and sending a ticket in the mail. Doesn't matter. I don't believe in flock cameras. Okay. That ticket is still coming to your doorstep. It's the same thing with this covenant. I don't believe we need to keep the Big Ten. Some people saying that.
Yeah.
The Big Ten is old school. That's the old covenant. We don't need to keep that anymore. It's just about love.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
What I always say, you don't read enough.
Right. And you know what's crazy too? You see how sin abounds. Those people, the same people who talk all this mess about it's just about love, be the main ones in the background doing the dirt. Main ones.
Yeah.
Was it love when you took this woman and did some salacious stuff with her, breaking your covenant? Was that love when you was loving on her? Tell me that. Was that love? They'd be the same ones talking all this mess about love, but then in the background have no real love to show. Zero at all. Let's go down to Romans 7, and let's pick up the 10th verse. And let's see how this iniquity is going to abound. What it's going to do as it abounds.
And the commandments which was ordained to life, I found to be unto death.
So these commandments are not for your destruction. However, Hasatan will use it for your destruction. He will use it. If you break them, just like Cain, he will use it against you. Let's read on.
For sin, taking occasion by the commandments, deceived me, and by it slew me.
Now, if you think sin is transgression of the law, you got to do some serious mental gymnastics to make this scripture work.
Yeah, for sure.
Sin, taking occasion by itself, deceived me and slew me. The action slew me. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
But you understand that sin is a spirit. Sin, or Hasatan, took occasion by the commandment that you broke to accuse you. And then in it brought forth death upon you. Let's read on.
The 12th verse. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just and good.
So don't look at now the commandment of Abba Yahweh and say it's bad. Once again, that's what the Christians do. It's bad.
Yeah, that's the old. Why
Yeah.
y'all focus on the old?
Right. Why you only focus on Moses' covenant? Well, because it still applies. But in a spiritual covenant, it's still holy. It's still just. It's still good. Read on.
13. Was then that which is good made death unto me? Abba forbid. But sin, that it might appear sin, working death in me by that which is good.
It works death in you by that which is good. That's confusing in and of itself.
Until you know.
Until you know.
Yeah.
But it's doubly confusing when you think sin is transgression of the law. That don't make no sense.
You can't figure this one
Yeah,
out.
right. This is a Rubik's Cube and you don't know what you're doing. You're just seeing yellow and greens and whites all over the place. Sin worked death in me by that which is good. The commandment to give the first fruits is good.
Con.
Is good. The commandment to keep the Shabbat is good. But then when Hasatan enters into your boss and says, I need you to come and work on Saturday. Look, I put in that I don't want to hear that. You come in or you fired. and you say, okay, and you go in, and you don't come out giving your trespass offering, sin will work death in you by that which is good. It's good to keep the Shabbat.
Kind.
But you didn't love Abba Yahweh. You didn't love him by keeping that commandment. Or at least giving that trespass offering after you broke it. And so now sin enters into you and then does what?
That sin by the commandment might become exceeding sinful.
It might exceedingly become sinful, or iniquity shall abound.
Kind.
And so sin is not content, just like any other virus. Sin is not content with you. Sin doesn't want to just see you sick. Sin wants you to now go and infect your brother. Because now that sin can get, another host. And now it wants you to get that person to go infect somebody else. That's why you see all these people who know nothing teaching.
Yeah.
They don't know anything. I mean, nothing. I was about to say something I shouldn't say. I don't want to misappropriate that. If you know, you know.
Exactly.
But these people who know nothing are teaching. Why? Because sin wants to become exceedingly sinful, or iniquity wants to abound. Iniquity isn't content just infecting them. They want to come through your phone screen that you watch a YouTube video on some false teacher talking about all you got to do is agape, love, and give me a hug and kiss and that. Now you infected because you thought that's all you had to do. Now sin is becoming exceedingly sinful. Now iniquity is abounding because you are now breaking Abba Yahweh's covenant by saying, that's right. I don't need to give sacrifices anymore because all I got to do is love. Now, when you don't give sacrifices, Abba Yahweh said he changes not. And that same scripture, Malachi, where he said he doesn't change, he said, you're cursed with a curse because you didn't give me my sacrifice. So the Most High didn't change from that. You must give the Most High a sacrifice. And if this was one of the key points of the commandment of your covenant with Abba Yahweh, and you don't give your sacrifice, guess what you're doing? You are hating Abba Yahweh. The opposite of love is hate. This is how you hate Abba Yahweh. I don't care how much emotion you have. If you rob the Most High of his offerings, you just told the Most High, I hate you.
Yeah.
I hope everybody puts that in their mind. I hope new people listening put that in their mind. Every day you go without sacrificing, you just told Abba Yahweh, I hate you. That's what you've told him. That's how he communicates with you. And if you say, I don't want to communicate with you, you have just told Abba Yahweh you hate him. And now sin is becoming exceedingly sinful. And if we follow Matthew, iniquity shall abound, so the love of many shall be cold. If we follow Cain, we know that after this sin, after transgressing Abba Yahweh's commandment, you're going to now break your covenant with your brother. And this is the point we're at in this world today. Let's read on.
For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, sold under sin. For that which I do, I allow not.
Here is the point. Here is what we see. That which I do allow, or that which I do, I allow not. Once again, Paul is speaking confusingly. The things that I want to do, that I find myself doing are things that in normal conditions I would not allow. Read on.
For what I would, that do I not.
The things I would do in normal situations, I find myself not doing it. Read on.
But what I hate, that I do.
The things that are detestable and disgusting to me, I find myself doing it. Read on.
If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law that is good.
I can't go and look at the covenant and say the covenant is bad. Yeah, I know I just stole from my neighbor. Am I going to say, why can't we steal, Abba? Stealing should be legal. No. It's not the law. It's not the covenant. It's not your statutes in your covenant that are bad. But what is it?
Now then, it is no more I that do it, but sin that dwelleth in me.
It is iniquity abounding. Sin becoming exceedingly sinful. Sin dwelling in you. Once again, you don't understand 1 John 3. You just read that one verse. You skipped over the first mention of sin in Genesis 4 and 7, and you think sin is now breaking the law, transgression of the law. Tell me what this verse means. Transgression of the law dwells within me. Replace that with any other verb and tell me if that makes sense. Running dwells within me. Jump rope dwells within me.
The action.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense.
And we saw in Genesis that they used the pronoun.
Yep.
There you go.
Not an action.
He, sin, Hasatan, is dwelling within you. In this case, it was Paul. But Paul is telling you this could be anybody. It was in Cain, and it made him do something that he didn't want to do. As soon as his brother Abel was dead, Cain was like, what in the world did I just do?
Like most of us.
Right, like most of us.
When we end up in prison for murder or whatever.
Right. You hear that? Those people telling their story? Something happened, and I just saw red.
I just blacked out.
Well, that red was that great red dragon, Hasatan. He was in your mind.
Blacking you out.
Working the controls. He was steering the ship.
I got this from here, bro.
Right. just put the blinders on. I got it.
Found wanting.
Right. You ain't gonna do it. Give me the gun.
Yeah.
Pass it to me. And then everything is gone, and you just see this person on the ground, bleeding out. And you're like, I did that?
Yeah, bad, man.
That sin becoming exceedingly sinful, taking you over and making you do something that you shouldn't be doing.
And don't get away with it, because now here come more sin.
There you go.
Whoa.
There you go.
That's a bad thing right there.
There you go. We even know with children. They feel some pain, and they associate that with don't do that again.
Yeah.
I broke the dishes because I had a tantrum. I threw them across the wall, and I got spanked. Don't do that again because there's pain. But what happens when that kid doesn't face punishment? This is normal.
Yeah.
This is cool. I just let my emotions go free whenever I want them to.
Because I got away with it.
Right. Because I got away with it. There was no problems. Let's drop that. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 14, AP, Hakam. Wisdom of Solomon 14, and actually we're going to pick it up in the 12th verse. So Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 12. And so we see iniquity is going to abound. Sin is going to proliferate in these last days. And just like it happened with Cain, just like it happened with Judas, just like it happened with all of these other people, sin was on them, and it made their actions just become evil. And it wasn't them trying to do evil. It just became evil. Let's look at Judas. Judas was there with the Messiah. But yet he was a thief.
Yeah.
Skimming off the top. And then what happened? What was the result? Satan entered into him.
Got him.
Not just because he could, but because he was a thief.
Yeah.
He had a transgression. Because of that transgression, Satan accused him and entered into him and made him sell out the Messiah. And then look what happened afterward. He was remorseful.
Yeah.
It was too late by then, but he was remorseful. And he
What was
hung
I
himself.
doing? Man.
Yeah. I was possessed. I was taken over. And so we live in the day where so many people are possessed. We see, what's that movie, Exorcism? They got like 5 of those or something like that. Talk about possession. And we think possession is this thing where your body's going to start contorting and doing all this crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But there's people today who are possessed, and they're walking down the street acting, quote unquote, normal.
Yeah.
Acting normal. I saw some, just some small stuff, It's small, it's minor. Coming here for the Shabbat, I'm driving, gotta go through some stop signs. So I'm pulling up, this car is stopping. And we both stop at the same time. Now, the rule is whoever's on the right goes first. I'm on his right side. I go first. Or I start to go, but then he starts to go. I'm like, go ahead, man. And he's looking at me like, looking at me all crazy. You possessed, dude. You possessed. Why would that make you so angry?
Yeah.
I could understand if I just swerved over and crashed into him. Oh, okay, yeah, that's something to be angry about.
Yeah.
I wasn't even angry that dude took it. I was like, man, go ahead. Go ahead. But that dude is possessed. Sin is on him from some other things that he got going on. I don't even know the dude.
God.
Sin is on him. And it made him get angry and flip out about nothing.
Yeah.
About nothing. That is how sin operates. And you see all these things with road rage today. How many times people have been shot or shot at or fight because of road rage?
Yeah.
You cut me off. Pull over. Let's handle this. What's that going to do? You mad because somebody cut you off because that means you're going to be a little later, right? Or you fighting this dude going to make you extra late. You shooting this dude going to make you late for the rest of your life. It don't make no sense, but that's how sin works because you got something going on from somewhere else. And sin said, this is the moment to activate. This is your moment. You a sleeper cell. And the call sign is get cut off. And now I activate. And now I go to war.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You got something you're going to say?
No.
Okay. Let's go ahead and read that Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 12.
For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication, and the invention of them the corruption of life.
Once again, as we see the process, it is first you transgress your covenant with Abba Yahweh. And this is the ultimate transgression against Abba Yahweh. You have now devised an idol. You have now made something a God that is no God, that has no power. That is that great transgression, like the Messiah said. Once again, there's people who, cheat, so to speak, and they be like, but I still love you. Who in their right mind would accept that?
Yeah.
Your woman went out and messed with some other man. She's like, but I still love you, though. Would you say that's real love? No. Same thing with Abba Yahweh. You can't go and worship an idol and then come back, but I still love you. No, you went and, played the harlot and went out and dealt with these strange idols. That's not love. Jump down to verse 16.
Thus, in the process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law.
Just like Kahan Gabaria said, I wasn't punished. Matter of fact, I felt like I was rewarded for worshiping this deity. Let's make a custom that every year around the winter solstice, I'm going to pop up a tree for Nimrod in Babylon. And I'm going to let, I'm going to show it's a sign of the Queen of Heaven bring down gifts to the earth. It became a custom. Read on.
And graven images were worshipped by the commandments of the kings.
And so kings would now command that everybody must worship idols. Once again, we see iniquity abounding. We see sin increasing and becoming exceedingly sinful. Read on. Jump down to verse 22.
Moreover, this was not enough for them.
Moreover, it wasn't enough for them that they worship idols. Read on.
But whereas they lived...
Read that verse again.
Moreover, this was not enough for them that they erred in the knowledge of Abba Yahweh.
It wasn't enough that they erred against Abba Yahweh, that they erred against him, transgressed against him, and broke their covenant with him. Satan doesn't do that. You must now go full steam ahead and now break your covenant with man. The love of many must wax cold. Let's read on.
But whereas they lived in the great war of ignorance.
They lived in a great war. We're at war all the time. You may think we're at peace because Joe Biden got the troops out of Afghanistan. But we're at war still against ignorance. Against, what's the root word of ignorance?
Ignore.
Okay, there you go. Ignore. Ignore, meaning to be or to be ambivalent about something. Not ambivalent, but to be oblivious about something. To not let that in your mind. So ignorance is being in a state of not having some information in your mind. And so we live in this great war of ignoring and not understanding the commandment and the covenant of Abba Yahweh. Now, we read already, that don't matter to Hasatan.
Yeah.
You still getting accused. Yep. You're still going to be accused. Just because you are ignorant does not mean you're not getting accused. And sin is not going to enter into you and become exceedingly sinful. What do they call this great war of ignorance?
Those so great plagues called they peace.
They called it peace when they would break their covenant with their brothers. When they would break their covenant with Abba Yahweh and then subsequently sin, iniquity would abound and then cause their true love to wax cold. They called that peace. This is why the Messiah said, peace I give you, but not according to the world. The world calls this peace. Let's read on.
Yeah, but I want to say something about this. Look what it calls it, though. This is a great plague.
There you go.
It's a plague.
Mm-hmm.
And you all right with it. And plagues are contagious.
Yeah.
And sometimes they kill. So be aware. This is a plague. It's not nothing good.
Absolutely. And you see that too. When the children of Israel were wandering in the wilderness and they got duped and deceived, just like here, to worship an idol. The Midianites sent their women and said, if you want to get with us, you got to get down with our deity. And they did it. They bowed down and worshiped. It said the Most High sent a plague. It said the plague went all throughout the camp. And thousands died. Thousands.
Yeah.
Thousands of them.
Thousands, yeah.
Like you said, it's infectious. Now you see why Phineas, or you understand why Phineas, when he saw the prince of, I think it was Simeon, take the princess of a Midianite, trying to go to the tent, now you see why he wasn't just like, what should we do?
Yeah.
Let's have a meeting
He
and
knew what to
confer
do.
about, yeah. Because he knew, once he goes in that tent, has his fun, comes out and says, yo, you got to try this.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to get infectious.
Yep.
Nah, this is patient zero, or this is the last person, I should say, with this plague. I ain't going to wait till he spreads it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Got rid of them.
Got rid of it. Put an end to it.
And the Most High was well pleased.
There you go. There you go. He didn't say, I love you, brother. Give me a hug. Let's just all hold hands and sing Kumbaya. He took a javelin and pierced that man through. He threw that thing so hard, it pierced through him and pierced the woman too. That's how fiery his vengeance was for Abba Yahweh. And the Most High was pleased so much, he took him from being one of the lowly sons of Eleazar to being the chieftain.
Con.
And that wasn't all about holding hands and hugging each other. He
enough
put
wasn't.
his own brother to death. And the Most High was pleased with that.
Most High said, this brother right here loves me.
There you go. That
He
was
loves
true
me.
love.
Yeah.
Because he loved the Most High first.
Yeah.
Let's read on. So here's some of the great plagues that they're calling peace.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 23. For while they slew their children in sacrifices.
That's a plague
Yeah.
that they're calling peace. They're calling this peaceful times. They're calling it reproductive rights. This is sin, iniquity, waxing, abounding, growing strong. So much so, you can't even love the baby that's inside of you. You can't even keep covenant with your own body,
Yeah.
with your own flesh and blood. You said, I'm going to take this kid and rip him out limb by limb
Yep.
and sell him off for stem cells to Planned Parenthood. This is what they're calling peace. This is how, once again, it started firstly by you breaking your covenant with Abba Yahweh. And now that you've done that, the love, the keeping of covenant with your brother has terminated, has waxed cold. Slaying their children in these strange rituals and strange rites has been called peace. I just saw something in the news today. They're talking about this influencer couple. I don't even know who they are. But they announced that they terminated a pregnancy because it was told to them that your baby has Down syndrome. So they were all excited about. I'm sure they were posting about it. Here's my pregnancy test. I just took it. We're having a baby. We're pregnant.
Yeah.
And now down the line, you get your sonograms and all that, and it's, the baby's gonna have Down syndrome. Get him out of here. Get him out of me. I can't deal with that. You don't love your own child?
God.
You are so selfish. Your love has waxed so cold that you'll kill a baby just because it might have Down syndrome. Who said they right?
Yeah, that's right.
How many times are these doctors wrong? How many times these doctors been like, oh man, you got about a month to live, and you it's 2 years later, you're still alive.
Still living.
Or how many times have they misdiagnosed people? Or how many times have you heard about there's other ways, like heavy metal detoxing, to maybe help that situation?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The only solution to you is kill that baby? And now today, this is abundant. Abortions are abundant. I saw a stat not too long ago. It was like something like 0.01% of abortions are because of rape. Some like 0.0, another 0.01 is because of incest. Some of the same things they always push to you in the media.
Yep.
And then something like 8% was like, it's going to be financial hardship. Then the other 91% was no reason given.
Just because they don't want it.
Yeah, just because they don't want it. Just because they don't want that baby. And so that is your reproductive right. I don't want it, so I'm going to get rid of it. And it's not because you did everything right in your life and now, crazy thing happened. It's not some dude was doing some weird stuff in the swimming pool and you were swimming too, and ain't that. It's because you was out here living loose.
Yeah.
Living fast and loose. You knew the consequences of that. Mm-hmm. That's like you driving without your seatbelt, and now you get in a car accident. I send him to jail because I flew out my windshield. That's your fault. How about you put your seatbelt on? What else they got going on? What other things in this great war of ignorance are they calling peace?
Or the use of secret ceremonies.
What's going on at Epstein Island? Or what was going on?
Yeah.
In secret.
Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, there you go. Is that loving your brother? You've gone so wayward from the covenant of Abba Yahweh that you're taking these young girls and not saying, hey, let me give you a fatherly figure. Let me get you a motherly figure. Let's see how we can get you integrated in society. No. You take these vulnerable people and now you start doing secret ceremonies. And what else?
Or made revelings of strange rites.
Or made revelings, which is these crazy big parties of strange rites and strange rituals.
Do we have to say it?
I don't know, do we? Do we?
Yeah.
We can even look at this today in colleges, frat houses.
Yeah.
They have these strange rites where they humiliate and debase. That's supposed to be your frat brother.
Yep.
And you whipping him and making him run around the house on all fours, butt naked with a donkey tail pinned on him. What in the world is this?
Yeah.
The love of many has waxed cold. Where is that in our covenant? Where is that?
And they call it hazing. We call it iniquity shall abound.
We call it love waxing cold. That's the real love. All these people want that agape. Well, go to the fraternities. They got it there.
Yeah.
They don't play about they frat brothers. They don't play about them. But look at everything they had to go through. Look at all the rites and rituals and stuff. The strangeness of what they had going on. It is madness, and I would not call that real love. I don't care how much you call that your brother and how much you stand by him. Was that love when you was hazing him?
Nah.
When you was making him shotgun 50 beers and punching him in the stomach? Was that love? True love according to the scriptures? Absolutely not. Let's read on.
Verse 24. They kept neither lives nor marriage any longer undefiled.
We already show that that's not love. We already show that that is not love. They didn't keep marriages undefiled, meaning this man was just taking this dude's wife and just spinning her around the block. Do we have that today? Absolutely. And we don't even need to go far outside of our own community to see this. It's all in the music.
Yeah.
Everything's about, I did this and it. I got your girl to.
She chose me.
Yep. And I'm going to send her back. What the? Whoa. This is an abomination. The love of many is waxing cold. Love would be, I know this woman is coming on to me and she's beautiful, but she's married.
Yeah.
I don't even know the brother, but I'm going to show love to him anyway and tell that woman, go back home with your husband. We ain't doing nothing.
Con.
But it started, firstly, you transgressed your covenant with Abba Yahweh. You were not giving him oblations. You were not keeping the feast. You were engaged in some wicked idolatry. And because now you broke that, sin became exceedingly sinful. Iniquity is abounding. And now you're not loving your brother. The love of many has waxed cold. Read on.
But either one slew another treacherously or grieved him by adultery.
Of course, we see this all the time. Slayings are all around.
Treacherously.
Treacherously. I just heard about something going on here in Atlanta on the MARTA station. An older woman just minding her business. Just some good dude came up and juked her in the neck. And it's over. Why? For no reason. This woman didn't do anything. They didn't know each other. For no reason. Slaying each other treacherously.
Yeah.
Let's read on.
Verse 25. So that there reigned in all men without exception blood.
Spilling of blood. What else?
Manslaughter.
Manslaughter. Killing one another. And now the system is cold. I'm sure a lot of us know about this case going on. I don't remember the name, but in South Carolina. It's actually 3 years ago. Young brother, about 14, went to a convenience store, grabbed some waters, put them back. And you see that security camera, that footage. That Asian woman was about 10 feet from him, watching like a hawk. Like, don't steal. And he put the stuff back and said, I'm out of here. And then the owner went and chased him. The owner and the son went and chased him, shot him, and killed him. And now they just reached a verdict a few days ago, not guilty.
Crazy.
Not guilty? They said the gunshot wound was in his lower back. And they claim he pointed the gun at them. I was protecting my son. Why are you chasing the guy? Protect your son by saying we're not going to chase him.
Right.
Even if he stole some water, we're not going to chase him for stealing some water. But not only that, you shot him in the back. Yeah, the kid had a gun on him. Yeah, he did. It fell out on the ground when he fell out after getting shot. But yet, somehow, this is self-defense. And look at the system having no love, no keeping of covenant, of judgment. We talked about it earlier. Moses said, if you find the man breaking in, all right, go ahead and lay him down. But if you find him later on, leave it be. Bring it to judgment that he stole. And so, the dude was running away. You chasing him and now you kill him.
No threat whatsoever.
No threat. I don't know how that passed because you do that. You do that today. I mean, there's so many cases of people like that getting put under the jail. You shot, and the dude could be like, I will kill you. He'd be brandishing the gun. I will kill you. And he turns around and you shoot him in the back. And he might be like, I'm going to kill you tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm coming back tomorrow to kill you. He turns around, walks away, and you shoot him in the back. You think you're doing a righteous thing. And a lot of people got put under the jail for that. But somehow this person gets away. makes no sense. But we see that blood and manslaughter, they're calling this peaceable. They're calling this good judgment. They're calling these plagues peace. They're saying the system works. It doesn't work at all. Let's read on.
Blood, manslaughter, theft, and dissimulation, corruption.
Once again, we're talking about that corruption. They call this corrupt society peace. They call this society where all the money is being hoarded up at the top and the people at the bottom are just scraping by. Peace.
Yeah.
We're at peace. I'm Jeff Bezos. I'm at peace. Let's read on.
Unfaithfulness, tumults, perjury, disquieting of good men.
Disquieting of good men. There's people who have lived their lives outside the system. No criminal charges, not even as much of a speeding ticket. Not even a parking ticket. And yet they get older. Taxes on the house increase. And they say, you didn't pay your property tax. We're going to take your house away from you. This was, from all accounts of the world, a good man.
Yeah.
Giving everything in his life to society, but because he can't pay these highly inflated taxes, you're taking the house away from him. You're disquieting this good man for no good reason. Read on.
Forgetfulness of good turns.
Forgetfulness of good turns. You do good to somebody and they reward you with evil.
Yeah. Woo.
How many times that happened to us? Sure, that happens all the time. But that's just a normal thing in this society these days. And then not only that, they're calling it peace. They're spinning the narrative like, I had to do what was best for me. I had to, protect my peace.
Yeah.
You were too controlling and you didn't want to do, so I did everything for you. I did good to you. And yet you forget that. You don't requite that. You don't give that back. This is a typical thing in today's society. Let's read on.
The defiling of souls.
The defiling of souls, like we already talked about. Iniquity abounding. I must teach you this wickedness. I must lead the congregation astray by teaching some. I don't even believe it. Let's read on.
Changing of kind.
Changing of kind. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Changing of kind. Now there's a there's a variety of things that means. That means, a variety of things. That means they're going in the lab doing this weird geneticism.
Con.
They're going to the lab trying to change this thing to be something that is not. They're trying to make some meat out of a soybean.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to turn this toad into something that's not. Or they're trying to tell you you're a girl when you're really a man. The changing of kind, changing of genders and all these things. This is because iniquity is abounding. And that shows you what true love is. True love, they tell you to accept them as they are. That is not love.
Con.
It's not love to keep somebody in a delusion.
Yeah.
That's like saying it's love. I didn't wake up my brother even though the house was burned down. I wanted to let him keep sleeping. He was so peaceful. The house is burned down. Wake him up.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with this. It's not love to say, I embrace you as you are. That's not real love. That's not true biblical love. Biblical love is to instruct the blind and show them the way. It's to say, look, you've been blinded by the society. Matter of fact, you've not only been blinded, you've been injected with sorcery, with these chemicals that are making you act that way. Let me show you this 9th Hour podcast where they talked about atrazine and how that's in the water and how it made these frogs act this way. What is it doing to you over the course of 20, 30 years? Brother, wake up. Let's revert from this. Let's change from something else. That's true love. That's truly keeping covenant with Abba Yahweh. But this society is doing something different. They're telling you, you don't love them unless you embrace them as they are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's really hate. What did Malak Khan say? There's no worse hate than Christian love. And that's exactly what we're seeing today. This is real hate of your brother or your sister or your child by making them think that's acceptable. Let's read on.
Disorder in marriages.
Do we have to go far to see that today?
Yeah.
Majority of the marriages, I'd say, are dysfunctional,
Yeah.
are disorderly. They are disorderly. We're talking about there's supposed to be unity. The Most High talked about, or the scriptures say, Abba Yahweh and his Elohim are one. What happens when you have a rogue one talking about, I don't want to do what you say? They got kicked out and it's called Hasatan.
Yep.
There's supposed to be this oneness. And look at the Messiah. Even though he didn't want to do what was told of him to do,
He did it.
that's showing you it's not about emotions. He did not want to be crucified.
The evidence is there.
Yeah, the evidence is there. He was crying, sweating, saying, take this cup from me. But because it's your will, let me do it. Let me go ahead and do this. That's true love. Mm-hmm. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it because this is the instruction of Abba Yahweh. It's what was commanded of me. That's true love. But the other way is disorderly marriages. And it's not just a woman not submitting to her head. It's the man doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I think we might do a podcast on that.
Yeah.
In the 9th hour.
Men wanting menage a trois. You got couples that are swingers. This is disorder.
Right.
You might think it's normal and it's fun. That's disorder, man.
Or the man is a pimp, an ex-pimp. And he got you coming to his place talking about, let me spend your credit cards. Mm-hmm. Let me spend your money. Let me buy myself a G-Wagon. That's disorder.
Yep.
There's no order. There's no balance. It's just about flossing and looking good and you pimping out this woman. Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
Those are some things, the disorder. So once again, we might be talking about this on one of the podcasts coming up about this dude, Hakah.
There it is.
Because it's out there.
Yeah.
And it's a besmirchment to our community.
Yeah.
You got people leaving the Israelite order because of people like this. And so we can't just sit back and say, we're just going to not talk about it. We got to talk about it.
Yeah.
We got to talk about this disgusting thing that they just like what happened with that dude, Gorilla Hebrew. What kind of name is that, Gorilla?
Glorilla Hebrew.
Right. Brother Glorilla. Brother not in the spirit, he's in the spur. And so we're going to talk about that, but not here. Not on the House of Wisdom Shabbat class.
And I'm going to tell you something, right? I don't mean to cut you on that. The House
We're going
of
to talk
Wisdom,
about the 9th Hour podcast. Go subscribe to that channel. Go ahead.
So the House of Wisdom showed love by speaking up against it. Because there was a lot of elders that was called and would not speak up against it. So we made the decision that the House of Wisdom, somebody got to stand up for righteousness. And we did so.
Absolutely.
Everybody else tried to follow late afterwards, but very weakly. Like when I say weakly, meaning weak. They came with, the brother, and all he has to do.
He said sorry.
Nah. Yeah, exactly. Nah. And we said that it would be worse, and guess what? It was worse.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was worse. You have to speak up against wickedness.
You want to join us on the podcast when we talk about that?
Most High willing.
All right. Let's make it happen. And you can call in live on Zoom, too. You can't make it here. But the point being that like you said, that was true love because we could have stayed silent. We could have said it got nothing to do with us. But we couldn't stay silent and we can't stay silent now because we would be allowing the sheep to see the bad shepherd and just say, screw this pasture.
Yeah.
When we say, no, this is where you need to be, but you need to find the right and appropriate leaders. This is not an appropriate leader. So that's, as Kahan Gabari said, this is true love. We're showing love to the people by saying, this is not the truth of Abba Yahweh right here or at that place. It's still in this area. Don't leave this pasture.
Yeah.
Find the right spot. Let's read on.
Adultery and shameless uncleanliness.
Shameless uncleanliness. People today are shameless. Shame makes you not do certain things.
Yeah.
My flesh wants to do this, but I'm not going to because society is going to look at me like I'm crazy. So I'm not going to do that. Shamelessness is I don't care. I'm just going to do it whatever. I don't care how you look at me. There's a lot of shameless people. Just open up Instagram and go to the Reels tab. You're going to find a lot of shameless people.
Yep.
A lot of shameless uncleanness. A lot of it. So much of it. You can, we don't even need to go into it, but shamelessness. This is that lack of love. Because now your shamelessness encourages your brother or your sister to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks good. Let me do the same thing. Uncleanness, but yet you're not shameless about it, or shameful about it. Let's read on.
Wisdom of Solomon 14, verse 27. For the worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil.
Once again, same thing as written in Matthew. Iniquity shall abound, a.k.a. you shall break your covenant with Yahweh, and sin shall enter into you. This is the beginning, the cause of all evil. And if you can pinpoint the problem, you can also end all evil.
Gone. Yep.
You can end it. And so we see a group of people today, we talked about it on the podcast, who are promoting this evil. They have books where they talk about there's 8 genders. They have books where they talk about it's okay to mess with a 9-year-old boy because he's not a man yet, even though the Bible says he's a man. Don't lay with mankind, so it's okay.
Yeah.
There's people who are telling you that it's okay to bomb and kill and destroy this whole area because they attacked us on October 7th. And so they have infiltrated all these societies and caused them to do all this evil stuff. They're the ones in the music industry putting this music out that's making you go and say, I think it's cool to do these drugs. I think it's cool to mess with somebody else's woman. I think it's cool to only care about money. And so they cause you to engage in this idolatry. They are the ones who promote society being commercialized around these idolatrous pagan days. They make you bow down and worship idols. It's crazy. You're supposed to be, worshiping the true power, but yet you encourage other people to worship their idols because you know it puts them in subjection unto you. And so this is the beginning and the cause of all evil upon the earth. And if we can stop idolatry, if we can stop this wickedness, we can stop all evil. We can stop the love of many waxing cold.
We can stop the plagues.
There you go. We can stop the plague. Let's read on. Let's finish that up, and then we'll go to Romans 1:28. Kahan Gabaria, as we start to wind down this class.
Verse 28. For either they are mad when they be merry.
To be happy or merry in this society, you must be insane.
Yep.
You got to be bugged out. You talk about Merry Christmas, but yet you in debt, you about to get evicted, and you just maxed out your credit cards for what?
And some of you ready to commit suicide.
Right.
Because you can't give on this day.
You must be mad or insane. The Old English word mad does not mean angry, it means insane.
God.
You are mad, insane, trying to be merry, trying to be happy in this world. Let's read on.
Or prophesy lies.
Or you got to prophesy lies to be happy. You got to prophesy this is your year and you're going to get blessed. Just sow a seed. You got to do that to be happy. Read on.
Or live unjustly. Or else lightly forswear themselves.
So you must live unjustly, corruptly, or swear yourselves to these, sell your soul out to the devil or whatever it may be, lightly cast away your soul to live happy in this world. And this world they call peace. They call that peace. To have people like Lil Nas X showing himself acting like he's a Satan worshiper and making that prominent in culture, That's the only way he can be happy in this world. That's the only way that he can be at quote unquote peace. They got this. I wanted to do a podcast on this, but we got so many powerful things. I don't know if we're going to do it. They got this thing, or this guy, D4VD, or David, some weird young singer. He's about like 23 or something like that. He's a weird dude. He's a weird dude if you look him up.
Is that the one that hangs around the Penguins?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know about that. He probably is because he got some record deals. He got famous and stuff.
Yeah.
But he hangs around some little girls, some young girls. That's what he does. And and they found a body decomposing, chopped up in his Tesla.
I know who you're talking about now. Yeah.
And he was initially cooperating, but then it found like everything. I mean, everybody already knew it. It pointed all to him. All the evidence points to him. And why did he do that? Because he was messing with this underage girl, and potentially she was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go. If you break up with me, I'm gonna go out and air your business to everybody that you were messing with me while I was 14 and you were 18." And he was like, "Nah, that ain't happening. I love this world too much. I love my success and my fame too much." And so, dude got songs called what, Romantic Homicide or something like that, about loving somebody so much you got to kill them. Literally, and this dude was like what, 18, 19, 20 maybe, writing that song. That shows you love. That is not true love. It's not about your emotion. He loved that girl, but did he really love her? Did he keep covenant with her? He murdered her. So it's not about your emotions. Clearly seeing it, but he was too sold. He sold himself. He swore himself over to his industry. Let's drop that. Let's get Romans 1:28 as we begin to get ready to close it down. Then we'll go back to Wisdom of Solomon 10 and 1. AP Hakam. Romans 1:28.
And even as they did not like to retain the Heavenly Father in their knowledge, the Heavenly Father gave them over to a reprobate mind.
This is what we shall see in the last days. Iniquity shall abound. You shall transgress the covenant of Abba Yahweh, and therefore your love of your neighbor shall wax cold. Sin shall enter into you, and Abba Yahweh will say, this is the law. Satan has ability to enter into you. Gives you over to this reprobate mind. Read on.
To do things which are not convenient.
And that's crazy how Hasatan works. He makes you do things that are not even convenient for you. They're not even expedient or good for you to do. What is the benefit of trying to be a transformer? How is that convenient for you?
Yeah.
It's not. The natural thing is I'm a male. I have testosterone. Let me stick with that.
Yeah.
But instead, you want to turn to a woman. And a lot of these women who do the opposites, they say, I want to turn to a man. They see the benefits of being a man. They just see all the glory. But then they turn into a man, quote unquote. So many of them are like, oh my goodness, this is hard.
Yeah, for sure.
This is hard. I went to somebody and started crying about my problems, and they said, suck it up. Get to work. This is hard. And they regret their decision. Because they think it's just easy. They think men just get whatever. No, women get whatever they want.
Yeah, and then I had one tell me that, dealing with women, they're impossible. And it says they won't give you nothing. And this particular one that plays the man says, I want somebody to take care of me too. I want somebody to love me and spoil me too. But you're too busy trying to be the man, right? And it's not your natural place to be. And now you're crying about what you're not receiving because you have went out of your natural, what you're supposed to do. And now it's like a lion trying to be an elephant.
Right.
That ain't going to work out for him too well.
But I still want to eat meat. Okay. Make that make sense. You need to grow you a long trunk and grab some leaves. If you're going to be an elephant. And we see the same thing. When you see those relationships, two women together, that is one of the most domestically tumultuous relationships on the planet. They always talk about men being aggressive, and I get why. Because if a man is fighting a woman, 9 times out of 10, that man is gonna, he's just gonna topple over that. He's gonna steamroll that woman. But they don't talk about women on women because that's, that just looks like an even matchup. Mm-hmm. But those are some of the most violent relationships, and they often result in death of one of the parties.
And you can say no all you want. Statistically, the numbers are there, so knock it off. You guys are aggressive.
It's not convenient for you. It doesn't make sense. You can't produce a child from that. Then you got the violence you got to deal with. You have somebody who's just as emotional as you, and so y'all can't handle business like y'all supposed to.
Y'all fight more.
Yeah, and don't give me the exceptions of these couples that are working well together. Look at the norm, not the exception.
Yeah. Right.
So iniquity abound and the love of many waxing cold. The Most High left them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. Let's read on.
Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whispers.
We see the same thing we're seeing in Wisdom of Solomon 14, that because you first went away from Abba Yahweh, you can no longer engage in the right way of loving your brother. You will engage in covetousness. You will engage in murder, like we were just talking about with D4VD or David, whatever his name is. Murdered somebody for what? Because Satan was in him and caused him to do that. It's crazy because he grew up with religious parents. Yeah, grew up with religious parents, and they homeschooled him. They tried to protect him from the world.
They couldn't.
But the moment he got some freedom, he started listening to stuff. He started doing stuff that he wasn't supposed to be doing. And Satan entered into him and caused him to do the things that he shouldn't do, that he ought not do. Full of what else? Whispers. Don't tell me you love your brother. Don't tell me you keeping the covenant of Abba Yahweh and you in the corner. Did you hear what was going on at Hakam's place?
Yeah.
I heard that brother got a fungus on his foot. That ain't love. All right. That ain't love. He ain't got no fungus. All right. To set the record straight.
Yeah.
That's not love, to be whispering and chiding about your brother, to be murmuring about them. That is not love.
And he got the nerve to be walking around barefooted.
Why he up there at the table handing out bread with that foot fungus? Why you murmuring and chiding? Let the Most High do what he does. You think somebody's wicked and off. Why you going over here chiding?
Yeah.
Why you got them up there giving up oblations? He wicked. How about handling your own house? Let me spend a day with you and see how wicked you are.
Exactly.
And you want me to come back, get him out of the congregation? Look how wicked he is. How would you like if somebody did that to you? It's almost always the most wicked person pointing the finger at somebody else. Like, look how wicked he is. Look how wicked she is. Let's read on.
Romans 1:30. Backbiters, haters of Abba Yahweh, despiteful, proud, boasters.
That pride is another aspect of that love of many waxing cold. If you're proud, you're too high to go down and deal with your brothers who are below you or who you think are below you. Let's read on.
Boasters, inventors of evil things.
Who invented these flock cameras? These flock cameras that are having facial recognition to scan your face and then arrest the wrong person.
Yeah.
Inventors of evil devices. Is that not happening today? Yeah. Most of these devices are not for your good.
No, and they're not convenient.
Right. Who invented Red 40? Who invented that? But it's an evil thing that is linked to ADD in kids.
Yeah.
An evil thing. But why can't you just get a raspberry and crush that thing and use that? Why can't you just get beets and blend that up? It's a natural thing. Blend that up. No harm, no foul. We good. Matter of fact, it might be a little healthy.
Beneficial.
Right. Who is inventing these things? Somebody who first transgressed the covenant of Abba, and now they don't give a damn about you.
Yeah.
I don't care if I put red 40 in the food because it's so bright. People are going to buy it. I don't care if it gives them ADD. Mm-hmm. Let's read on.
Disobedient to parents.
Another one. Clearly, you're not honoring your father or your mother because you first transgressed the covenant of Abba Yahweh. Let's read on.
Without understanding. Covenant breakers.
Covenant breakers. Breaking covenants with their own brothers, as we already said. It can be the covenant that Abba Yahweh has for you to do, or it can be your own covenant that you've made. Imagine David made a covenant with Jonathan, and he said, hey, look, I know for sure you're the covenant bearer. My family has lost it all, but just make sure you take care of my kids. Just make sure you take care of my lineage. David would have been off to be like, well, the Most High said he's going to kill all Saul's children, so I'm going to go and kill Ishbosheth.
Yeah.
You've been wicked for that. He took care of it, and the Most High dealt with it.
Kind.
So don't be a covenant breaker even when you make covenants with people. This is not loving your brother. You said, I'm going to pay you back in 2 weeks. I promise. And now you got the choice. Do I buy this whiskey or do I give that brother his $20 back? Ah, boy, do I want that whiskey. He's good. He can wait another week.
He got it.
Covenant breakers. Let's read on.
Without natural affection. Implacable. Is that
Implacable.
Implacable. Unmerciful.
No mercy. No, you can't console anybody. You don't have the natural affection. So there is a place for affection. Mm-hmm. But let it be natural, not this above and beyond stuff. If I see a brother on the street, homeless, eating out of a trash can, that's going to hit me. That's going to be like, man, this world is cold. Yeah. This world is sad. And I might go and help out the brother. I might go and say, brother, here's a fresh sandwich I just got from the store. Now, if he's like, look, I don't want that sandwich. You got $15? I'm not going to let my natural affection override the covenant of Abba. I don't know what you're going to do with that money. I see, needle wounds in your arm. I'm not giving you this $15. You can get your next bump.
Yeah.
I'd be not loving you. So even though you begging me for this $15, I'd rather give you this sandwich that you can't abuse, or at least I hope you can't, than give you this money that you can definitely abuse. Let's read on.
32. Who, knowing the judgment of the Heavenly Father, that they which commit such things are worthy of death.
And a lot of these people know the judgment of Abba Yahweh. A lot of them know that if you do this, you shall be worthy of death. And we don't need to look at just outside in the world. We can look at our own people. We can look within our own. You're a teacher of this, and yet you do the same thing that you said somebody's head need to roll for. Or we can look at the sons of Seth, who said, I know the punishment of going down this mountain.
I'm going anyway.
Yep. And I'm not going alone. I want you and you to come down with me. Yeah, we're going to make a deal. We're going to bind ourselves in mutual imprecation and go down this mountain together. What, the Most High going to punish all of us?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the thought process, right?
Yes, he will.
Yeah.
Yes, he will. Let's read on.
Knowing the judgment of the Heavenly Father, they which commit such things are worthy of death, and not only do the same, but have pleasure in them.
Not only do them, but find pleasure in them. Find pleasure in murderers. Find pleasure in inventing evil devices. Find pleasure in not loving your brother. That's what you see with these Khazars, man, these imposters, these penguins over in Gaza. They find pleasure. They're bombing, destroying the place, and you got people talking about, record this video I want to send back to my daughter. I'll be blowing up this Palestinian's house. Let me show you that. You finding pleasure in it. The love of many has waxed cold, and the fact that you have people defending such atrocities shows you that the whole world is overspread with iniquity. And this is not the first time they've done it. They've been doing this since 1948. But this time is different. because the war of ignorance is not just a steamroll mission anymore. Right. The Most High has elected priests to stand on the battlefield and go to war.
Yeah.
And so now the tide is changing. Now people are seeing this catastrophe for what it is. Now, obviously, there's still a lot who are stuck in their ignorance, their willful ignorance. But there's a lot who are now saying, no, this is an abomination.
God.
Maybe you're not who you say you are. Maybe you don't have rights to that land. Maybe there's somebody else who is the people you're claiming to be. And there's no coincidence that this is the time that the priests are coming together, giving oblations 24 or 12 hours a day, day in and day out, fighting against this iniquity. It's like you enter into this house that was quarantined and for 15 years now mold is everywhere. And we coming in with hazmat suits spraying bleach and other chemicals. We just starting here, you know, we just doing a coating right now. But give it some time. We keep doing it, that mold is going to dial back. It's not going to be able to survive on the walls or on the studs or in the ceilings. Over time, it's going to die off. But the moment you stop, that's the moment that mold is starting to come back.
Yeah.
But if we keep it going, the mold is constantly dying off until there is none left. Let's drop that. Let's finish this up in Wisdom of Solomon 10. Pick up in the first verse, AP Hakam.
She preserved the firstborn father of the world that was created alone, and brought him out of his fall.
Who is this she? Let's pass the mic around. Who is Solomon talking about? Who is she that preserved the first formed father? Who preserved Adam? Who is she? Is it Eve? Who is she? Who is she? Let us know.
Somebody. Anybody.
All praises. Wisdom.
There you go. All praise, absolutely. It's wisdom, the Holy Spirit was sent to Adam and preserved him. And we can look at the book of Adam and Eve and see the turmoil he was in. He wanted to kill himself on many occasions because he fell from being an angel to being a primal man. But wisdom said, no, Adam, let me show you how to make clothes from skin. Let me show you how to till this wheat. Let me show you how to make meat and drink offerings to Abba Yahweh, because you're going to need to do this for 7,000 years.
Yeah.
So she preserved him. Read on.
And gave him power to rule all things. But when the unrighteous went away from her in his anger, he perished also in the fury wherewith he murdered his brother.
So when Cain departed and left wisdom, the Holy Spirit, he was given this covenant of death, no redemption. Because not only did you not love Abba Yahweh, but you did not love your brother. So he gave him the same punishment he gave to Hasatan, no redemption for you whatsoever, because he fled from wisdom. Let's read on.
Verse 4. For whose cause the earth being drowned with the flood, wisdom again preserved it.
So why are we going through this? Because there's several instances where iniquity abounded and the love of many waxed cold. But there was a few, a morsel, a remnant, who wisdom began to preserve. And so the last days today, as Gabaria mentioned in the beginning of the class, there were many ends of the world. Many eras ending and a new one coming.
God.
This is no different. That this era is going to end and a new one is going to come. And this is how the righteous shall be preserved, through wisdom. Wisdom is the antithesis to sin, to iniquity. Sin is the spirit from Hasatan. Or like Paul said, the wisdom that's devilish that comes from the earth.
God.
It's sensual.
Yeah.
What's sensual? It's a sensation, just like an emotion. That's the wisdom that comes from Hasatan. So when anybody's telling you, be emotional, have that agape love. I want that agape love. You're the devil that the Bible speaks of. Because you are teaching something sensual. You're telling me to go off my senses, my sensations, rather than my spirit, rather than the commandments of Abba Yahweh. And so this is how we're going to be preserved, through that wisdom that comes from above, that's divine, that's heavenly. This is how we are going to be preserved in the last days. Wisdom will guide us, just like the situation today. I was tempted. Dude was arguing with me because he was in the wrong. I wanted to argue with him. I wanted to, you know what, let me take a detour from the house of wisdom. Let me go follow this guy. It was like, wisdom was like, let the peons deal with the peon stuff.
Exactly.
Move on. That's a waste of time. Wisdom will preserve you because it's much needed. It's easy for an unrighteous person, somebody filled with sin, somebody breaking their covenant, Abba Yahweh, to now further on break their covenant with their brother. So wisdom will preserve the saints. Wisdom will preserve the righteous in these last days if you heed the calling. Let's read on.
Wisdom again preserved it and directed the course of the righteous in a piece of wood of small value.
So when the flood came and flooded all the children of Cain and the children of Seth who went down the mountain, only preserved was Noah, his sons, and their wives, and the cattle.
With something of small value.
Yeah,
I thought
right.
That was heavy.
Right. Something that the world perceived as small value.
Yeah.
And think about it. Back then, they were like, rain. What I need art for? It ain't about to rain.
Yep.
They counted that as no value.
Con.
Just like them today. Man, you don't work on Saturday? That's when I get my paper. That's when the restaurant booming. I'm about, man,
Yeah, exactly.
That's when the club is booming. You telling me don't work today?
They give you that double time.
Yeah, right. That's what it's all about. It's about that paper. That's where the value's at. Put that Bible down and get some paper. They can look at this like it's of little value. But just like Bitcoin in 2009, little value. What's the value at now? And the price is down.
Yeah.
And it's what, 60,000 a
Yeah, about
coin?
60 plus.
That used to be of little value. The Messiah said, this is the pearl of great price. Buy the truth and sell it not. It is of no value to the world right now. But there's going to be a time that everybody's going to cling to the skirt of he who is a Jew. He who is an Israelite, a royal priest.
There's going to be a supply demand.
Exactly.
There's going to be a shortage of it.
Short supply, but high demand.
Con.
High demand. We can get you an oblation for your sin in 7 weeks. All right. Come back in 7 weeks. We'll put you on the schedule. We got a long line of people ahead of you.
Sure enough.
Let's read on.
Verse 5. Moreover, the nations in their wicked conspiracy being confounded, she found out the righteous.
So now the wicked abounded again. Iniquity abounded even after the flood.
Yeah.
And Nimrod rose up and dominated the earth. And Sodom rose up and dominated the region. Iniquity abounded. Read on.
Oh, can I say something on that?
God.
So you got Noah at the time. You know, they came out of the flood. They started to repopulate the earth. How did he know that this evil spirit, which is a pronoun, him, was here? He says, there's no love for each other anymore. Why are you guys hating each other? Mm-hmm. Why are you killing each other? Oh, Abba, please don't tell me these spirits are loose again.
There you go.
Because iniquity was abounding. This is how you're able to recognize sin.
Absolutely. And it wasn't, my sons don't hug each other.
Yeah.
It was, why are you murdering each other?
Yeah.
Why are you stealing from each other? Why are you enchanting against each other? Mm-hmm. Why are there wars going on? Because somebody went and transgressed the commandment of Abba Yahweh, and now it's spreading.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good point. Let's read on. Let's finish that up.
Moreover, the nations in their wicked conspiracy being confounded, she found out the righteous. And
Wisdom found Abraham. Mm-hmm. Read on.
And preserved him blameless unto Abba Yahweh. and kept him strong against his tender compassion towards his son.
And so he kept Abraham strong and brought forth out of him a son, being compassionate to Abba Yahweh. Wisdom preserved him. Read on.
When the ungodly perished, she delivered the righteous man who fled from fire, which fell down upon 5 cities.
And also Lot.
Yeah.
He, through wisdom, was delivered from the destruction of Sodom. And we covered that in this series, that Sodom is just like the last days. A abundantly wicked place. An exceedingly sinful place where iniquity abounds. Not because they were on the LGBTQ alphabet committee stuff, but because they broke their covenant with Abba Yahweh. And then subsequently, they started doing all these abominations. Subsequently, they started not caring for the poor. They started loving their wealth. They started loving their money. And that was, and not only did they love their money, but they did not care for the poor. And that brought forth that destruction upon them. But wisdom preserved Lot. Just like the Holy Spirit, wisdom will preserve us in the last days. Let's read on.
Verse 7. Of whose wickedness even to this day the wasteland that smoketh is a testimony, and plants bearing fruit that never come to ripeness, and the standing pillar of salt is a monument of an unbelieving soul. For regarding not wisdom, they got not only this hurt, that they knew not the things which were good.
Look at that. They regard not wisdom. So as it said in Romans, the Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind. And so now they no longer knew what was good. They thought the evil things, these plagues, were peace. They thought the evil and the wicked stuff was good, when actuality it was their own destruction and demise that they couldn't see before them. Let's read on.
But also left behind them to the world a memorial of their foolishness, so that in the things wherein they offended, they could not so much as be hid.
So just like we talked about this too, we saw the example of Pompeii. Destroyed and covered in ash, everybody died, and it became a memorial to see why. What iniquity, what wickedness were they involved in? And it was high. It was great. It was Sodom 2.0. Let's finish that up.
But wisdom delivered from pain those that attended upon her.
If you attend unto wisdom instead of sin, if you keep the covenant of Abba Yahweh and show this true love, which Abba willing, we'll do a full class on at another point. But if you engage in this true love, loving Abba Yahweh and then loving your brother, or keeping covenant with Abba Yahweh and then keeping covenant with your brother, with your neighbor, then wisdom will deliver you from the pain and the anguish that's coming. It's pleasurable to live in Sodom. It's painful to be destroyed by fire and brimstone.
Yeah.
But wisdom will preserve you from that, will deliver you from that pain. And so we should be looking to do the same. We should be looking to be delivered from the destruction and the cataclysm that's coming to this society. The last days, the signs of it are written and plastered all over this place. That the sins of Sodom are upon them. The sins of Egypt and Babylon are upon this place. The iniquity is abounding and the love of many is waxing cold in this place. It's time for us to prepare ourselves. It's time for us to gird our hearts and to stand strong and attend unto wisdom. Attend to the vineyard of Abba Yahweh. And in doing so, you will be preserved from the cataclysm that's coming to this present society. With that, we're going to go ahead and close down the class and open up the floor for Q&A. If anybody in the audience has any questions, all right, ask y'all a bunch of questions. Time y'all return the favor. And anybody online as well, now's the time to pin or pose those in the YouTube chat, or you can join Zoom. We should be posting the link for the live Zoom chat. And you can actually call in and talk to us directly. So let's go ahead and open up the floor for Q&A. If anybody in the audience has any questions, now's the time to go and put them forth. All right. Well, hopefully the class was thorough. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
3 hours, 5 pages. God. All right. Any questions in the audience? All right. What about any questions online? Any questions? Any questions on YouTube? All right.
Seems like silence.
No questions on YouTube. No questions in the audience. Anybody in the Zoom room? Nope. All right. Well, hopefully that means the class was thorough. Hopefully that means everybody took something from this. Hopefully, if you didn't know it already, you know what true love is. And so we see the signs of the end times. They're here. They are abundantly clear. People have walked away from the commandments of Abba Yahweh. They have not loved the Most High. And therefore iniquity, sin, has overspread and infected many, infected the entire earth. And because of that, the love of many, the reciprocity, the requiting of good terms, the not murdering, not killing, keeping your brother safe has ended. This is a time of unprecedented wickedness. And so as wickedness comes to a full, there's only so far it can go.
God.
And we're at like 99%. You ever been looking at your computer and you loading something and you see the bar loading and it stops at 99% and it's spinning? That's where we're at.
God.
Any second now, it's over with. It's about to snap.
About it.
Yep. And so with that, everybody should be encouraged. This last days series is not just about pointing out the signs of the times being over. It's for us to know, what shall we do? What should we do to prepare ourselves? You must attend unto wisdom. And attending unto wisdom means submitting yourself to her discipline, her rules, and her regulations. And when we look at wisdom, Proverbs 9:1, it says, wisdom builded her house. And it goes on to say, she has sent forth her maidens. She has sent forth her ministers to teach and to call forth the simple, those who are ignorant, those who don't know, and say, come into the house where there is meat and drink, and the beast, the sacrifices are prepared. This is what we must do. We must enter into the covenant, the house of wisdom. And then we, Abba willing, must maintain in it, and in doing so, be preserved from the end, the destruction that's been given to so many societies, the end of all the societies that have come before. This society has a lifespan on it.
God.
And so as America goes and begins to celebrate its 250th anniversary, House of Wisdom is the young man celebrating their 20th anniversary, our 20th anniversary. And we're going to be celebrating, Abba willing. And just like in Egypt, when Moses and Aaron and all the people walked out, were they lamenting? Were they sad? No, they were singing and dancing and giving sacrifice to Abba Yahweh. And so that's what we intend to do. So we hope you join us. We hope you connect with us. We hope you reach out. If you have not yet been consecrated, the time is running short to do so. So we pray that you do that ASAP. And don't just do it thinking the end is coming tomorrow. A short time to us can be a long time to Abba Yahweh, or a short time to Abba Yahweh can be a long time to us.
Yeah.
Get in this covenant and maintain in it. And we pray we see you on the other side. May peace and thanksgiving offerings be multiplied amongst all the saints. Shalom.
Do the counting or we just go? Just gonna get it? Yeah. All right, let's get it. Oh, Abba, to you do I put my trust. Never let me be put to confusion. Oh, Abba, to you do I put my trust. Never let me be put to confusion.
Deliver me in thy righteousness. ears to me. Deliver me in thy righteousness. Cause me to escape. Incline thine ears to me.
Trust, never let me be put to confusion. Oh, I want to you do I put my trust. Never let me be put to confusion.
Deliver me in thy righteousness. Cause me to escape. Incline thine ears to me. Deliver me in thy righteousness. Cause me to escape. Incline thine ears to me.
Trust, never let me be put to confusion. Oh, I want to you do I put my trust. Never let me be put to confusion.
Deliver me in thy righteousness. Cause me to escape. Incline thine ears to me. Deliver me in thy righteousness. Cause me to escape. Incline thine ears